We
Okay,
are.
here we go.
Yeah, so if you want to show, all right, everybody, hold on 1 second. I'm going to, yeah, so if you wanted to add something, you can share it, and then I can put that up on the screen.
Okay.
See what we got.
We got Higgins
Yeah,
Appliance. Higgins Appliance Repair. Greetings. Thanks for joining us today.
yes, sir.
That's
All right,
awesome.
let me get going here. Let me get started. I mean, people are
They're
coming.
dropping in. Right.
They are coming. Let me see here what I can do about this background. Oh, hmm, this will be fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, we got about 4 people. I don't see any notification on my Instagram. Nothing.
Nothing. Let me check. I'm checking over on mine.
Nothing yet.
I do get a
No
lot of your notifications.
notifications. Yeah, I've been spamming a little bit on the Instagram, hitting them
Oh,
up with
that's cool. That's cool.
hitting them up.
Nothing wrong with that, brother. Yeah. Yeah,
So
I don't
trying to
see
show.
I don't see anything on Instagram, but
In fact, I brought this home
oh nice.
from
Oh nice
today.
controller.
Did you see it? Did you see the
I
one
see
from today? And
I
I was
I
just
caught
talking
that.
about Corel. I was just talking about Corel, and then
Yeah.
out of the blue,
Is that a
one of these. What's that?
is that a 208 by any
No, 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 no.
two?
This is 120 volt.
Oh, 120 volt. Okay.
I
Yeah.
should say, yeah, there it is.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, it
I
says
see it.
119
Gotcha.
volt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, let me see. Let me see if I can make us there. I guess I should add a little something. Did you? Are you able to share anything? I am
Let me try
notorious.
it right. Let me
Okay,
try.
I am so bad with adding. Well, just shutting off my computer.
Right. Right.
I am so bad with that. So finally, the laptop today said,
Not
"It said
doing
no. We're
it.
gonna have to do something today. We're gonna do something today, buddy."
Yeah, it's coming together.
Yeah.
I
All
think
right. So
yeah, okay. I think it's
make
allowing
us.
me I got a little something right there. So
There we
that
go.
that'll
All
work.
right. Well, let me go ahead and give the intro,
Sure.
and I'll probably have to reiterate. I'll probably have to do it again during the broadcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
But hey, Jay Dilla after
Jay.
my after
Jay.
my
Nice to see
favorite
you, Jay. Thanks for checking in with us.
musician, rest in peace. All right,
Yeah.
so I am Mike
Brandon Lee.
Reed.
How are you, Brandon?
Oh, okay, you got somebody on. Oh, let me see. There we go. I am Mike Reed, and this is Mr. Kevin with his channel, Learn to Trade. Hey, do you have your anything you want to put up about your channel? A link to your training that you have for people that are
Sure.
new to the business?
Sure. I could put that in one of the banners or something.
Yeah, sure.
Is that all
So
right?
mi casa is su casa. So this is Kevin with
Or
Learn a Trade, and he is a commercial technician that handles a lot of the clients that I'm not strong with. He is extremely well versed in that side of the business. So I'm going to hand things over to Mr. Kevin and let him introduce himself, shall we say.
all right. All right. Thank you, Mike. And I appreciate the introduction. And I'd like to say welcome everybody to Conversation Between Techs. And like Mike said, I've been in the business since 1997, and I also started out in the commercial field. I'm sorry, the residential field and then eventually moved on into a commercial field. But for today, I kind of wanted to talk about, going into the commercial field and, um, you know, when I got into the commercial field, what particular things that we're actually working with. A lot of people don't realize, Mike, like, on that commercial side, we're pulling in contracts with companies like 7-Eleven, uh, Cumberland Farms, Bun Manufacturing, For
Yeah.
Real Manufacturing, just to name a few, Hoshizaki, Isomatic. Um, we're touching on all of these different manufacturers, different brands, and I just kind of want to give you guys an idea of the scope
Wow.
of it and the scope of opportunities that are out there. And you don't necessarily have to be fully trained, but
Yeah.
nowadays, they do a lot of on the job training, and
Yes.
and that's, in my opinion, that's kind of surpassing the manufacturer training, which is very valuable. And it used to be like a mandatory thing where if you
Yeah.
worked with a company for so long, were required to attend manufacturer's training. Now it's not so in demand. They still have it available, but they
Yeah.
utilize the senior techs to train the newer personnel. So that's kind of, I won't say it totally fell to the wayside, because it's still out there, the manufacturer's training. And that's one thing that Mike's really on top of, is the manufacturer's training that comes up and stuff like that. So that's why I wanted a lot of my subscribers to check in with us today, and to pop up with any questions you may have on that too. But just to continue, with the commercial field, with what I do, I'm still out in the field and I'm performing service. I work for a company. I'm not going to mention their name, but I work for a company that has been in the business for over 50 years. And they started off with Coke, and then they grew into a service company that is doing lots of volume with service contracts with um, corporate franchises, like your 7-Elevens, like your Circle K's, or um, your Speedways, stuff like that, your Cumberland Farms, and then also on the manufacturing side. So just to give you an idea on it, in a few, I think we have some questions that might be coming up, but in a few, I would just go through like a standard day of going through and working with a company, and what a standard day might look like for you.
Yes. But first, let's address Brandon Lee.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see it, but it says that he used to do 7-Eleven and Circle K, and then he found your channel, Learn a Trade, and he said it helps him a lot with troubleshooting this equipment. And he's saying that you are a big help to him.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
Others.
Awesome. Thank you, Brandon, for that comment. I mean, I really appreciate it, as well as for everybody that does this. All of us are service techs together. You know what I mean? And it's for me, Mike. It's like each one teach one.
Yes.
because it just helps the knowledge grow. It helps the knowledge expand. I mean, after a while, if we don't take that stance in this industry, it's just going to be a loss of great technical skills, technical knowledge, and it's going to get lost. You know what I'm saying? So it'll get lost in this mixture of corporate America,
Yes.
just the way they handle things now, So that's why I think it's important. I thank you, Brandon, for that comment. I think it's really important that we continue to put this information out in the way that we do it, because I feel like that's going to help others to catch on to what we're saying and what we're explaining, and then actually help them become better technicians or become first time technicians and feel confident about the work they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that.
All right. So yeah, that is what this is all about. This is essentially each one teach one situation. I'm thankful that I have someone like Kevin with Learn to Trade that is willing to come out and give you all a behind the scenes look at what we all do. So it's a lot. It's helpful to have to be with someone else on this journey. So I do thank you for coming along with me on this one.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, it's just amazing, like how much similarities that me and Mike have with certain things. I mean, when we're talking backstage type of thing or whatever, off live or anything like that. I mean, we communicate very well because it's like we're doing identical things, but in a different way, and
Yes.
I can really appreciate it because I feed a lot off of what he delivers, and I'm hoping that he can feed a lot off of what I'm delivering on my end too, as well for other people that are out there doing it, like that I could think of offhand, is like brother contractor, and
Mm-hmm.
no news,
No news. Yep.
and a few others that they really inspire me to continue on with putting the information out there that as best we can. That's
Yes.
all we can do. Yeah.
Well, I just even I'm in the southern region, and Learn to Trade. Kevin with Learn to Trade is on the east side of the country, but we still experience the exact same issues out there in the field, right?
Right. Exactly.
So
I'd like
it's
to,
still the same thing.
it definitely is. I mean, as far as the struggles go and the
Oh yeah.
frustrations, I mean, we can both relate, man, and a lot of people out there watching can relate as well, and it's cool to be able to have somewhere to go and sit and talk about it, and kind of figure some things out just through talking about it. It's a big help. But
Yeah.
I figure I wanted to kind of run through like a typical day, like on the commercial side, just to kind of give the viewers a look at what it looks like, and it's different for other companies too, I might
Mhm.
add. Yeah.
Now, before you jump into that, your main focus is what type of clientele? Again, you said it's
Um,
the
well, it's called the C stores, the
yes.
convenience stores. Um, and just to name a few, we would have 7-Eleven, Circle K, um, Cumberland Farms,
Mm-hmm.
so
And
Speedway, which is now 7-Eleven because 7-Eleven bought out Speedway.
mm-hmm.
So this is at the level of like corporate, on the corporate side, where you have stores like 7-Eleven that they have corporate stores, and they have franchisees that own stores. So our company focuses on the franchisees own stores for 7-Eleven, say, okay.
Let's see here.
So you can kind of see how it works, like but at the same time we still can service 7-Eleven corporate stores as well.
Mm.
uh, even though it's a whole different game of politics between the franchisee and the corporate.
Now, quick question with that: the billing is different with that. Is that right? Okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And now it's kind of getting more consolidated because of the way 7-Eleven has made changes
mm,
in their service structure. It used to be more of a separate thing between the corporate and the franchisee, but
okay.
now they've consolidated their service with the Speedway technicians that they acquired from the deal from the Speedway buyout.
Mm,
Um, so they were able to utilize those technicians as in-house technicians.
okay.
So now the way it works is when in a typical day, if 20 calls come in and they're all 7-Eleven calls, regardless if they're corporate or
Mhm.
franchisee, just say it's 20 calls, and
Okay.
if those 20 calls come through, we have to accept them or deny them, okay, depending on what it's for. It could be for anything: ice maker, roller grill, uh, um, FBD machine, or a soda machine. It could be anything as far as the equipment goes. But
Now,
once we
real quick.
accept that call,
Okay.
yeah,
But you don't only service these quick convenience stores. Your clientele and also includes, like we talked about, what, even movie theater chains, right?
oh yeah, yeah, we have a solid contract with movie theater. I don't know if you have them like in the South or anything, but they're called showcase theaters. They're all over, like on the Northeast.
Okay.
Um, they're kind of like the AMC theaters,
And let me try
and
to pull it up. Let me see.
we you know we have a solid contract with the showcase theaters, which is a big market. I mean, it's a really big market as far as service tech work.
Let me see what we got over here. Hey, you have to see. Yeah, I have
Oh
one
yeah,
right here. Yeah.
yeah,
So, and this is something people don't understand, is that they
yeah,
are, some of these places are under different umbrellas.
yeah, yeah. Yep, they're on. Yeah, some of them are under different umbrellas. Some of them are just a large part of a large conglomerate. And
Hmm.
but the thing is in our area, we only service like the Massachusetts, Rhode
Okay.
Island areas for showcase locations. So we basically cover all of their Massachusetts locations
Hmm.
and their Rhode Island locations. We
Okay.
we
No, so under the showcase name, they are not here. I'm using their
Oh
site.
yeah, yeah.
They stretch all the way out to Ohio, but they're not here. I don't know what
Oh,
other name they're using.
right.
But all right, so I'll let you go ahead and take it away from there and
Yeah,
explain to the good people,
yeah.
what your typical day looks like.
Okay. Yeah. So like basically for a typical day as a technician now, let me just step back to let you know that we've lost so many technicians to retirement in the last 2 to 3 years that it's just amazing to me that we lost so many, because just for with my company, the company I work for, we had 14 technicians. Now we're down to 5 technicians. and our territory, we cover Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, and Connecticut. So that's a large territory, and we used to cover that with the 14 techs, but now you have to really maneuver things to be able to cover with 5 technicians. So this is why I always stress like the amount of opportunity that's out there, because in a typical day having 5 technicians, I can I can I will probably drive 300 to 400 miles
Ooh,
in that day, just depending on wherever the calls are. If I
wow.
if, yeah, I usually start my day at 6 a.m. and I'm usually on my first job site by 7:30. It depends on the distance.
Now
So
okay,
mhm,
let me ask you a quick. This is a billing question.
mhm,
So I the companies I am familiar with in Chicago and in Texas, um, they are every moment of a technician's day is billed to a client. How does
mhm.
billing go on your side?
Billing on our side goes from when the technician leaves the house. Okay, so typical day, if you get a call, um, or you wake up 6 in the morning, check your phone. Any calls for you, it would be on your phone, and you'll see them. You'll be alerted with a call. So basically, you're leaving from home all the time. The only time that you usually would go into the shop is if you needed to get some spare parts or something you couldn't get shipped to your box or anything like that. Then you could go to the warehouse for that, or to the warehouse to work on some equipment that needs to be repaired on the bench. But basically, you're leaving out in the morning. You see your first call or your first 2 calls, and you head out to your first call. Now, your first call could be on anything. It could be on an ice maker, soda machine, Slurpee machine, all of the equipment you see in like the 7-Elevens and convenience stores like that. It can be any of those, hot or cold. And you basically want to try to get to the point where you can diagnose a call just from what is in the description, and then that way you kind of have your mindset to, okay, I'm gonna, I got a Turbo Chef oven that's got an F3 era. Okay, I'm gonna start up on the high voltage circuit and work my way through troubleshooting the high voltage circuit, because apparently there's a F3 era, and that's a problem within the high voltage circuit of the oven. So you would have that in your mind. That's where you're going to start, and then you get there, knock that call out. You have another call as soon as you close that call out. You have to close that call out, and now everything's electronic. That call gets all the prices, the labor, the parts, everything is calculated in that call by the time you send it to the dispatch. Then dispatch receives it, and then they start already on the billing process. So they're already getting that bill sent out, because some of these sites, some of these contracts and stuff, they don't pay out right away. And
No.
Mike vouch for that. Like, so many times, you have an issue with billing where you have to call, or for us, we have our dispatch call the company to figure out what the status is on payments and stuff like that. But that's something that you always have to stay on top of in this industry, even especially as an independent service provider, because just to be honest, the clients out there aren't going to just hand you the money, right?
No.
But I mean, in short, for a typical day, though, you would look at, as a technician with a company, you're looking at between 8 to 10 hours, could be 8 to 12 hours a day, and possibly, depending on the company that you're working for, you could be required to work 6 days a week.
Oh, yeah.
But you're getting that overtime. You're getting in most cases now, you're getting the company vehicle. You're getting the vehicle fueled. The vehicle's already insured. And
What about tool allowance?
And well, that's good you mentioned that. Our company, they would only do like partial reimbursements
Okay.
for certain things, or say, like, if it was something where you purchased the evac pump, something like that, they would reimburse you for that, but they would kind of make it a partial reimbursement. Just due to the fact that over the years we learned that a lot of people would do that and get reimbursed, and then they would leave the company after they got so many tools. I mean, it's just part of the thing that happens in this business. I mean, you see a lot of people rotate through. Did you
I'm here with you. No, I'm here with you. I'm here with you. No, I just got a notification. So, all right. Because that is a concern that was brought up on Monday's stream. Questions as in regards to tools and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I don't want people to see that as a hindrance, where you don't have all your tools or you don't have the expensive tools. What would be the bare minimum that you would need for someone to have it? Let's just say they were coming along and you're doing OJT, or you're doing just say it's advanced past a ride along to like the first week of OJT. What are you expecting that new hire to have on them?
Oh, okay. Yeah, going through it, I would I definitely, tell them to, purchase new tools first thing, but not necessarily go overboard as far as price wise. Like try to stay within their budget, whatever they can afford, but to get some fairly new tools and a screwdriver set. I prefer the what they call them, the 5-in-1s or the 8-in-1 type screwdrivers. Something like that. That's kind of universal, where you can switch it around, but still also, I always double dip. I still would like to have a set of screwdrivers. The slotted, the Phillips and stuff, different sizes. And the channel locks, a pair of channel locks would be important. Wire strippers, cutters. Would be important, like those full those full sets that Home Depot and Lowe's are trying to put out right now.
Yeah, that is unusual, because normally that's a Christmas sale.
Christmas thing, yeah, but I think they're trying to get a push on early, because like
their numbers are bad.
Up on the screen now, like sets like that, like screwdriver sets. The
Tractor Supply, that's not bad either.
Oh yeah,
Tractor Supply is not bad. I don't know if you have any Tractor Supply. People don't realize it. Once you leave your metro area, once you go just a little bit outside of the city, it's pretty country out there.
Yeah.
And people don't get that. Like, man, you go a little bit outside. I know you're not in New York, but you go outside New York, and it's pickup trucks and gun racks.
Oh yeah, especially when you get into like upstate,
Upstate, yeah.
New York.
Oh, yeah. You don't have to go far from those skyscrapers in that concrete jungle to find.
You know what would be really important as a tool for a starter would be a meter, a decent meter.
Yes. Now, what is your feeling on the type of meter?
I'm really you know how we got our favorites. We all have our and for me it's Klein.
So Klein has some inexpensive ones to start off with. Klein tries to cover every pocketbook.
Yeah.
And like so Klein is no longer at Home Depot. Klein is at Lowe's. And you get Klein at Ace Hardware, right? You get Klein at Ace Hardware, I believe.
I believe you could get Klein at Ace. I think you still can.
So I don't know if you can see this one, but this is a meter. It doesn't have the amp clamp on it, but it has everything else. And this one comes with it comes with a voltage detector, and not only that, but it comes with the plug detector. Yeah. I'm saying the wrong name, so you can pick up if it's an open ground or short or new.
Short. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what do you feel? How do you feel about this one? It's $40.
Oh, that Klein.
600 rated to 600 volts.
And it comes with that. That's the accessory kit with it also.
Yes, sir.
I like that. I like that for $40. For 40 I do. I like that.
I mean, come on. You can come up with $40. I mean, you gotta invest something if you're gonna go ahead and do it.
Yeah, don't think that that you can't do it, just because of these things. I mean, he just found right there. Look at this one here. It's a 7-function digital, $699. So don't.
This used to be free.
Like Klein is my preferred, but if I had to and I'm just starting out, I will get what I could afford. Get what you can afford, and then eventually you'll be able to build up to see what it is that you prefer, and that you can then
well, real quick, my viewpoint on this little set right here, this kit, this has all your safety in it. So you have your pin contactor, so you can check and make sure there's voltage, because when you're just starting, you don't know what's live and what isn't. So that pin,
No News is right there.
Yeah, I don't use them very much, but
how you doing, No News? Good to hear from you.
Oh, No News is there. What's going on? But it is good to have for safety reasons. It is good to have, especially just starting out. Okay, let me see here. Oh, I did miss a number of contacts. A number of oh yeah, No News. All right, so I'm gonna go from the beginning. So what's going on, No News? Can you get a link to this brother too? Okay. Yeah. Let me see here. Well,
right.
No News. Let me. Yeah, he has his stuff. I don't know if you could just send me an email, Mike P. Reed at Hotmail, and then I'll link you up with everybody. And Kevin, No News was in the Navy, I believe, because you served in the Navy, right?
I served in the Army. I
served in the Army. Okay.
Yeah, I think No News was in the Army also, from what I heard.
Okay.
Last talk.
Oh, okay.
On your Blue Collar Talk, I caught some of that. That was a great interview you guys had, man. That was a great show, and I mean that's where I thought I heard No News say he was in the Army.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's confirming he was in the Army. I'm sorry, I apologize. There's so many Navy guys.
Yeah.
So actually, two former Navy guys that are in FryMaster, they recommend this Harbor Freight $7 meter for working on a FryMaster. They said, believe it or not, they stand behind this meter. They love it. It used to be free with any purchase.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. This meter, like you said, the 6-in-1, the 6-in-1 screwdriver used to be free, and then the light. You know how you had the little puck with the button on it, and the whole thing would light up. Those three things used to be free. Those three things used to be free with purchase, and then it got to be you had to make a $20 purchase to get them free, and then it just slowly started creeping up. So now it's not even a free option, but it is $7. So you can do a little work. You can do work with this one.
Absolutely,
you can work with this.
Absolutely, you can. You know, you definitely can.
So I don't want to just completely dump on that meter, because FryMaster says, yeah, they say, hey, that's a good one.
Right.
Yes, sir.
That's it, and that's definitely a necessity for your tools. If you're starting out as an independent, or if you're starting out with a company, another company, you know, so you definitely want to have that, you know, your meters and learn to use them, you know, properly for safety reasons, because I've noticed a number of injuries just from people working on the turbo shafts, Mike.
Ooh, you know what? Some people
without
I have been
proper thing, you know, they end up getting popped, and I mean, with the turbo, it's more than that, because it's some high voltage up there, you know.
It's high voltage,
2500, you know. So these guys, there's a lot of techs now, that newer techs, that are really intimidated by them, so they won't, you know, they won't really go through all of the troubleshooting steps that they have to.
No,
you know, because they don't want to have to test a certain circuit, and they want to try and stay away from it, and then see if they can figure it out, and that doesn't work a lot of times, you know.
No, it doesn't. So I've had people contact me outside of YouTube, and that was my number one concern to them, is that, you know, people were kind of taking it, in my viewpoint, they were kind of taking it lightly. And I said, hey, you can die working on those machines, so you must. Oh man, I know the discharge. And I'm like, yeah, well, you know, if I don't have to work on one, I'm not going to work on one.
Yeah.
I'm fully aware how to discharge the capacitors and all that stuff, but it's like, what for? But the other thing is mentioning the respect for electricity. People don't have the working knowledge of electricity, and so they don't quite get it. I did a video today, and I'll go back. We're gonna go back with your interview, but
no.
I had this Corel controller today. It was technically yesterday, but they overnighted the part. It was warranty. I came in and I replaced it. It was no questions asked. You know, Mike, it's dead. Yep, it's dead. I got 120 volts going to the unit, and still no lights.
No lights.
Once I got this thing in the van, once I took a look at it, I see that this unit, it's swollen on the top. Yeah. See where it says input 115 volts, right?
Yeah.
That is, chances are, you know, the electrician, because it was a new facility, it was a new restaurant, and the voltage wasn't quite right. Or a lot of times the ampage would be a little too high, and it will fry components.
Right.
A few people have seen me work on things, and they go, "Oh, that should be fine," and I'm like, "No, it's not. It really isn't fine. If you're using your meter and you're seeing that you're getting higher voltage than what it should be, it is not okay."
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
commercial units are stripped down. They don't have all the added protection that
Right.
residential units carry,
Uh-huh.
and it fries it. So this was a brand new unit. Oh yeah, no news is saying simple safety rule: don't make 2 points of contact through your body. Yes,
Right.
electricity
Right.
needs a minimum 2 points to travel.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
so that
Absolutely.
is
That's a
uh,
good tip, and that's a good
yes,
tip for those that are watching too, because um, you know,
yeah.
they get up there and they testing out these different circuits, and
Hmm.
then they they just forget or lose
Yeah,
track of where they're at on
they
that,
do.
in that troubleshooting process, and then there you go, they're trying to make 2 points of contact across hot wires at that, and then they end up getting popped, or they end up blowing the
Hmm.
meter. There's so many times I've seen them blow their meter because they were on the wrong,
Yes.
had their contacts in the wrong place, or weren't practicing safety correctly either.
Hmm.
uh,
Right. And let's
no.
be honest, it's all about rushing, trying to get done
Hmm.
with the job,
Hmm.
which is leading me to the next thing. I said, hey, look, on the commercial side of things, it is not an emphasis on the number of calls you get to. It is an emphasis on trying to find out what the cause of the problem is, and two, trying to make sure that everything is done so you don't have to come back.
Hmm. Hmm.
Those are the main things. It isn't about the speed of it all.
Yeah, and some techs get lost in that too. They want to try to fly through their calls so they
Yeah,
could seem like super tech or something like that. But the thing is that if you're rushing, the
you're
the
gonna
way
miss.
I, the way I always put it is, if you're rushing, you're missing something,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Or you're going to miss something. If
Yeah.
you're rushing through it. So I always advise people, like, you don't want to, especially in if you're working for another company. Okay, you're working for a company, they're looking at your time on calls. They're looking at, you're taking an hour and a half, 2 hours on one call. And then what's the quality of that call? How many callbacks have we gotten on this call, or that
Mm-hmm.
call that took him over 2 hours to do. So they're always getting monitored. And another thing that um, I would like people to be aware of is that, um, with 7-Eleven, 7-Eleven used to use a company called Vixo.
They're not using them anymore.
Not anymore. No, that's why they switched their
Oh.
service over to, like, in-house, utilizing in-house technicians, because they wanted to, kind of set Vixo aside and just maybe use them as a middleman for certain things,
Mm.
it's instead of for everything. Because I mean, if you look at it though, how many 7-Elevens out there, and Vixo had control over all of the dispatch for those
Is it
for those
5,000? Is it 5,000 7-Elevens?
well, it's more than 5,000 now. It's more than five.
Okay.
I don't know the exact number, but and I could speak for Northeast. In the Northeast, I would say it's well over 200.
Okay.
And that's just 7-Elevens. That's not counting, like, the the Tedeschi markets that they bought out, the Speedways that they
Mhm.
bought out, the
The
Sunoco's,
Sunoco. Yeah.
that they bought out a few years back. So I mean, there's thousands, and Vixo was getting a cut of all of those service calls. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
Vixo, it's like the middleman getting the cut on all of these service calls. So this is what I think 7-Eleven made this move to start using in-house technicians to cut down on having to, give such a large percentage to a middle company, a middleman. So, I mean, because in a typical day, a technician that's just getting through his job safely, getting through his jobs, and you know, checking them out after he finishes the repair. That's another thing I'd like to get to eventually, Mike. But a tech could look at doing his job like that. Would probably look at yeah. Somebody just popped. You just popped it up. 9,200.
Oh yeah.
So
That's quite a few stores. That's quite a few stores nationwide.
It's in the 38 states, I think.
Yeah, they said 38 states and territories.
Okay.
Yep. 2,306 states.
Yeah, and with including the speedways and stuff, you could easily say over 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, and they have technicians all over. So that's where I'm saying, like, there's plenty of work out there. There's plenty of options for these people to get into. If they don't feel comfortable with the cold stuff, coolers or ice makers or reach-ins and stuff like that, they could make a living, a good living on the hot side easily.
Yes.
Yes. And this is going in as a technician with another company. It's just about you building your knowledge on the equipment and learning these different systems, because it's something that I find to be very special about service technicians is you're not just focusing on one thing. There's times that you're working on plumbing, you're working on carpentry, you're doing a little electrician work. It's like all around. So it's always something different. So I mean, it's a very open field, and for those that are independent now and that are looking to maybe go work for another company, just look at your options. That's the best thing, is to look at your options out there. Look at what's going to provide more training for you. What's going to more of a lot of people have families. They need to spend more time with their children. So that's something else you got to think about, is the hours. There's, as a service tech, there's a lot of hours that are left out on the road, man. I remember times on doing easily 65 to 70 hours in a week, and spending nights in certain states to get a number of installs done on a site. Because when you go to do an install, a lot of times you're going to be doing these installs at night when there's no one on site, or you could be doing them during the day when there's going to be a ton of contractors on that same site trying to get their stuff done, and you're getting your stuff done. You're going to have electricians, you're going to have plumbers, everybody there, and you're going to be there working on getting a reach-in installed, or a Slurpee machine installed, or a soda and an ice machine installed. So it's like you got to think about these things. Think about the hours, the overtime. But the thing is like, the more knowledgeable you are now, and the more equipped you are with tools and how to use the tools properly, the more valuable you're going to be to that company.
Oh, most definitely. So, oh yeah, there's Safeway right there. Yeah, I was just showing them a little bit of what Polar King has to offer, because Polar King is additional storage for for everyone, and convenience stores use them as well as movie theaters. So
Yeah.
they'll use it as well. I just so happen I picked up the let me put this on us. I went to my mail, and the new magazine just came out, and yeah, they had a full advertisement about Polar King, advertising that they have. Let me see if I can find it. It's something outrageous. They said that they had access to. Oh, here it is. Polar King said they had access to, something like 5,000 technicians or something like that.
Really?
And really, yeah, but it's really people like you and me. It's really technicians like you and me. So,
Okay.
um, you
Wow.
know, they Polar King is supplying. Let's just say, just like you said earlier, when you're doing work, an install or something like that. While you're doing the install, let's say it was an evaporator for
Mhm.
the walk-in for the beer. They had to have the beer somewhere. They had to
Mhm.
have that alcohol somewhere, and then they would use a company like Polar King
To
to drop
store.
a trailer, a container, yes, to
Nice.
store everything at temp.
Nice.
Chipotle and all those places, they use it.
Yeah.
Hospitals use them. So there are quite a bit of opportunities, and it's not it's not limited. It's
Not
definitely
limited.
not limited.
Yeah, not limited at all. I mean, it's a lot there. It's a lot there in all of it. In the whole operation, if you really look at it, it's really open for people to
Oh yeah.
make a good living and use their skills. You know what I mean? A lot of people out here are already working on
Hmm.
equipment, stuff like that. So I mean, this information that's being put out. It's like really to help those of you to improve your skills and improve your knowledge, because you're just going to be that much more valuable to your clients if you're independent, and to your company if you're working for another company,
Hmm.
and I mean, even in my situation, I'm working with a company, but I also take on my independent work. You know what I mean? I also take
Oh yeah.
on those independent jobs in,
Well,
in order to, still have that side of that independent side of things, whether it's residential or commercial. But I still try to limit that so I can have also have free time too, because you
yeah,
can.
but let me ask you on that one. Now, how does a company look at an employee that is doing their own work? What should someone look out for?
Well, first thing is,
So they don't have.
don't try to hide it. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Don't try to hide it from your employer. I was just really straightforward with the company I was working for, because they already knew that I did my own thing. Um, but the thing was that I did agree for to a non compete clause, you know,
Oh.
and that allowed them to feel comfortable with me going into uh, their locations and stuff like that, and not taking on that side of it as an independent. So that is something that is when you do bring it up, because it's best to bring it up rather than rather than they find out through other means.
Yeah.
It's better to just be upfront, like, hey, I'm doing my own business, and I just want to let and usually they're okay with it, as long as, like I said, you're not pulling any calls out of their pockets. um, as a competitor, you know. So, and at that time, I really wasn't even interested in that side of it. I was mainly picking up the mom and pop shops uh,
Mm-hmm.
that were in my local area because I, you know, I already know like I travel so much already as it is just working for the company. So I kind of wanted to keep my calls for independent in a close vicinity where I really didn't have to go that far to go do a job on a Saturday or a Sunday, you know, if I chose to, you know, or if it was like an emergency on a Tuesday night, you know, they would call and I could say, well, I get off at 5. I'll be there. I'll come there after I get off. And then uh, my clients were all right with that, you know, and my company is okay with me doing my side work as
Mm-hmm.
as an independent because I'm not trying to pull any of their contracts, you know.
And that's another thing. People have a hard time understanding that everything is B2B, everything is corporate.
Yeah,
Um, they really don't care about the mom and pops out there.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
if they can't scale up, if that client isn't someone that they can handle at the minimum a regional client,
right.
they're not interested. It's not something that's in their, you know, that's in their warehouse.
Yeah,
It's more of a nuisance to them than anything.
yeah, because they will, and it will get dispatched to you like that too. You know, if it's let me tell you, because if it's a one of these like you said, corporate stores, Mike,
Yeah.
if it's a store like that, and then you know they know they have like 1,500 of these doggone stores, you know, they're gonna
Uh-huh.
they have to put it in. They have to put it then in priority system. Okay, they
Yeah.
call it so it's like P1 through P4. Okay,
Oh wow.
so that would be priority one. Okay, if you're now this is if you're working with a company, and they're pulling these like corporate contracts with convenience stores. This is what happens. They'll set these calls up in a priority system, and the calls will get dispatched to you as the technician in a priority way. So, like a P1 would require you to show up within 24 hours. You
Yeah.
know,
Oh yeah.
P2 would be like within 4 hours. P3 the next day, 24 hours or something like that,
Well,
or the next. You know,
yeah, that's in the contract though. That's in the contract. That's how they're able to get these contracts. Is that they say, hey, we can provide, um, you know, a technician within 8 hours of a call, 4 hours of a call. You know,
yeah,
anywhere in your network
yeah,
is the sales pitch really.
yeah.
We got no news. No news says, oh, you're saying that's the issues with working with unions?
Oh wow.
But there's no unions on this side of things.
Not on the service tech side, but I could hear him. He's saying that is like how it is on the union side because he's
Because
union, right?
he's a union electrician, yes,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, like in the I'm trying to think, Mike. I can't think of. I remember it was years ago. There was something going around where there was a pledge for service tech union type of thing, but
Yeah. Well,
it never.
that's
It
when they
never
came up with the USA, the PSA, NACA, or whatever the hell that stuff is called. Oh man, that's when they started coming up with all those associations. If you
Mhm.
remember, because you're talking about early on in the '90s. You're
Yeah,
talking about in the '90s,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm talking
So,
to late 90s.
yeah, you're talking
Yeah,
about the late '90s. That's when PSA Net and all that stuff popped up. That's when Nate, because let me see here when Nate had started. Nate and Safessa, because I want to say, let me see here. Safessa history. Because I want to say Safessa, yeah, well, Safessa started at 63, but they were pushing for that kind of stuff, and then Safessa was pushing for that kind of stuff in the 90s. Let's see here, Nate. Let me see here. Nate, Tech.
Yeah, because I think they really took a lot of the concept of the electrical unions, you know, and tried to kind of mimic that, you know.
They tried to throw us under that. They tried to throw us under the electrical union, but the problem we had is you had all the people that did gas work, and back in the 90s, the vast majority of the gas work, there was no electricity.
Yeah.
It was all millivolt stuff on the fryers, and it was millivolt stuff on the ovens. Ovens they didn't have convection ovens. They were all deck ovens and stuff like that back in the day. I can't remember when I first started seeing convection ovens.
My first time was had to be early to mid 2000s.
2000s, yeah. So that's what people don't understand is like when they watch my videos and they see me like when I on Instagram when I did the Magic Chef, not Magic Chef, it's Magic Kitchen, the Magic Kitchen griddle. There's no electricity. I had to explain that to the staff that was working. They said, "Well, how does the thing work?" I said, "The electricity, develops a millivolt charge with the thermocouple, and that's what keeps the gas valve open." And it's the same thing. I had an oven that was red tagged, and that one had no electricity. So, it was all pilots and thermocouple. So yeah, we really didn't start dealing with convection ovens, like you said, until like the 2000s, and those were people that actually had a lot of money. Restaurants had a lot of money. Those are mainly your grocery stores and chain restaurants and stuff like that.
And stuff, yeah, that's true.
They had the money, but the average person had a deck oven or regular range, and they loved it. To this day, people still don't. They like, why would I have a fan? Why is there a fan on the oven? So I had to explain to a client today, this very morning, that his oven was actually a combi oven. He had been using it as a regular convection oven for 5 years.
Wow.
And he's like, "What's a combi oven?" I said, "Sir, your oven has a water hookup." How does that work? I had to explain this to this man this morning. So so our stuff didn't used to have electricity, and so that's what put the kibosh on throwing us under the electricians, because I got in before there was the EPA certification, because I was in 92. Right, and so all of this stuff was coming about. It was a whole whirlwind of stuff. Looking back, you can see it. And then the washers were going from belt driven to coupler direct drive back then in the mid to late 90s.
Yeah, because even on the Slurpee machines, it used to be belt drive Slurpee machines, and then they moved to the couplers with the rear motor, the rear gear motor in the back, and then they add a coupler to that to turn the beater bar.
Yes.
And, I mean, it's like, you can see, being in the game for so long, it's like you can see like the progression of everything, and like it's surprising to me now. It's like I'm like, damn, look at it, like how far everything went,
Yeah. Well, that's why people don't understand where all of this negativity comes when people are thinking of what we do, is because it used to be on the residential side, it used to be a little more glamorous, you know, because you used to go in the house, you weren't dirty, you weren't dealing with dirty equipment, and you were kind of not too bright if you worked on the commercial stuff, because all you were doing were tightening up pipes and stuff like that. You know, like you said, dealing with belts. It was all that kind of stuff, and it really flipped. It really flipped when they started, the deep fryers start coming in with all their stuff. The deep fryers, the ovens, they kind of started leading the charge. You started getting the microwaves. Everybody, remember when everybody bitched about microwaves? Like Wendy's and all that. Where's the beef? When those commercials were out, the little old lady, where's the beef? People were boycotting restaurants.
Yeah.
Using microwaves.
Microwaves. Yep. And now look.
Right. Now everything is microwave.
You're cooking a pizza. You're cooking a whole pepperoni pizza in 2 minutes.
Trivection. Yeah. Here, let me show them. Yeah.
Things change, and you got to move with it, or forget about it. I see that Stradat put up ACCA.
Yes, I had forgot about that. Yeah,
heard about that. Yeah, have you heard about that before?
Yeah, I heard about it, and I had forgot about it because we're so solitary. So it's like, people ask me all the time, "Oh man, what is everybody else doing?" I say, I don't talk to anybody else. The only time you see somebody is when you go to the parts house. Yeah, that's it. This. ACCA. Let me see if I can see the history of it.
I do remember it being presented years ago, but it just seemed like memberships like that never really caught on at most of the places I was at.
There's no protection. It doesn't. Well, when you say, "Hey, do we have?" Everything falls apart when it comes to union dues. That's really where things fall apart, when you got to go ahead and start contributing to the organization. Everything goes to caca. Everything goes. It hits the fan. Then it hits the fan. So everything's cool till it goes to that. So it really went towards the AC guys. As you can see, here's the sponsors.
I see.
Except for Copeland. So Copeland, Daikin, Mitsubishi, York, Rudd, all, there's Medea. There's your chemical company. I hate when people say Freon. Look, man, Chemours, this is a company like DuPont and all that. They make refrigerant. What you guys call Freon. Freon is a brand. Freon is oh man, it takes Freon. Well, what the hell are you saying? What do you mean it takes Freon? What is the refrigerant? You know what I'm saying? It's like, God. Man. Yeah, I stick the nozzle in the gas tank. I stick the nozzle in the tank of the vehicle. Well, what does it take? Diesel? It take 87? It take 93? It take racing fuel? What the hell you mean it takes mobile?
Right.
Mobile fuel in there. Well, what the hell does that mean? Oh man, that one get man. That one always gets me, man. That one always gets me.
Oh, I hear that.
Hey, Elo. Yeah, we dating ourselves, man.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that, Elo. That is true though. But I was like, yeah, we are dating ourselves, huh?
Well, that's how people don't understand. That's how it used to be, man. This was a very straightforward, simple business. You got married, or you would be like my situation. I was dating, and the woman in your life helps you with calling the customers, keeping track of your parts and stuff like that. And that's just how it goes. You have kids, and your kids work for you, or your brother work for you, or your brother-in-law. And that's how it used to be. That's how it used to be until freaking hedge funds got into this thing. Late 90s, early 2000s. And now it's on steroids. Now it's on steroids. It's like Bitcoin or something. And so now,
no telling. I mean, I don't know on the perspective from your perspective, Mike, but
what's that?
From mine in the commercial field, on the commercial side with a company, I just find it so lacking now. I find a lot of the work ethic lacking. I find a lot of the effort and communication lacking in from top to bottom, dude. That's the only way I could put it, you know.
I'm gonna be called what we can't really say misogyn, you know. So I'm a misogynist. I'll be called a misogynist for this one, but it's the women. It's the women that got into the back rooms. So, like I said, you had husband and wife working, and you had daughters that came up in this business. What those women that grew up in the 80s and 90s, what they ended up doing, or after they went to college, they say, hey, Pop's business really makes a lot of money, and I think I can do something with this. And that's how you see all of these companies, these dispatch companies and all that, they're really women-owned, women-run companies.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, oh my God, the freaking emails that I get. Oh, did you call? I mean, I can hear the tone in the freaking email. Did you contact? Did you close out the claim? Did you submit your claim? Oh my God, I already got a wife.
Are you sure this is the part number?
Right. You know, oh my, yeah. Oh, but and you know what? In their defense, they do know the business. They are actually pre-diagnosing these calls. They know. I talk to them like I talk to you, and you know, we chop it up. And I go, hey, you know, your father was in the business or something like that, wasn't he? Yep, my father was in the business. There's a service company on the residential side called damn it, it's in Arizona. And what it was is the father retired, the daughter took over. She married a guy. It's pretty much what we all got to do when we have daughters. It's like you got to hire a guy, and you got to marry him off to your daughter. So, but she runs the company. Right. You would think that the husband runs the company, but the wife / daughter, she runs the company. She was there when it was Pop running in the van. Right. And this woman, she took the business, digitized it, hired technicians, you know, and hey, she you know, she got a whole staff of guys. She had contracts with German and Italian appliances on the residential side, and so this is throughout. So this is on the residential side and it's on the commercial side. And you'll see it with these companies. They'll say minority businesses, but it's not minority as in Black, Hispanic, Indian, Asian. It's minority as in it is a woman-owned, woman-run company. And it's not just some woman figurehead like, oh yeah, my wife is actually the owner. No, the wife actually is the daughter of a technician. She went to college and came back from college and said, hey, we're gonna put this thing on steroids.
And there are a good number of them that are knowledgeable.
Oh yeah.
Business. I mean, and you know, the thing I have to say about that is that a lot of them are thorough. A lot of them are more thorough.
Oh my God, they are annoyingly thorough. They are. We take a lot of things for granted. Men are like, yeah, I did that. Are you sure? Did you check the voltage? Did you put wires on the? You put wires on the? It's like, oh,
yeah. I mean, even on. I mean, you're right on point, Mike. Because my dispatcher, My dispatcher is a female. She runs the business. Okay,
Yeah. Oh
she
yeah.
runs that business. But the thing about her is that she was there from the very beginning.
Hmm.
She, you know what I'm saying? She was there since she was 17. You
Yes,
know,
and they observe, they know, and they know the business. So they like, hey, I'm not gonna get out there
right,
and I'm not
right.
gonna do that. And
And the
you
thing,
gonna do that, and I'm gonna get the money.
yeah,
So that's
and
what they do.
she's on top of it as far as billing goes. You know,
Yes.
she gets those calls out. You know, hey, you know, we took care of that job. We sent you the invoice on such and such a date. We need to get paid, and that's why I love that. I love that about the ones that are thorough. You know, because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of
Let me
them
see.
pay attention to detail a lot better than us.
Oh yeah.
You know, in some cases, you know what I mean. A lot of them pay attention to detail for sure, man.
Dude, let me see if I could find this. You can go ahead and go ahead. People, if you have a question,
Yeah,
if
please.
there's
That's it.
something on your mind, this is the time. This
Yeah.
right here, right now is the time for you to make your inquiries.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to. These women try to hide this so much, right? So let's see here. I'm trying to find it, but they're very obscure when it comes to it, as to who's doing what. And
Mhm.
every now and then, see, Sky. See, there's no. They're saying a name, but there's no pronoun. You don't know if Sky is a he or she. I mean, unless it's like a Keanu Reeves type of thing.
Yes. Yeah, President
Sky
Sky.
is typically going to be a woman.
Wow. Yeah.
There's no
Office
Sky
manager.
this, Sky that. There's nothing there.
Right.
Same family atmosphere. Ah,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Sky, owner and president. Let me see if that picture, because usually that picture that was there is just a stock photo. So
You
I
know,
believe this company is run by a woman.
yeah.
Everybody that answers the phone is a woman.
I tell you, I just want to let me tell you a little story though. That has you know a lot to do with like what you're talking about right here with the between the women and the men. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend that we we had a working relationship. His name was Al, and Al ran his business. You know, he started it working out of Burger King
Yeah.
complex. He was working with Burger Kings, and then
Okay. There she
yeah,
is.
yeah, and then
There she goes.
he moved into commercial with the movie theaters, picking up
Oh.
the some of the Cumberland Farms contract work back then,
Mm-hmm.
and he built it up. He really did. But Al got to a point where he started losing contracts. He started losing business because of his personality. He didn't really
Oh.
he didn't really he didn't really click with people too well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Most of us don't.
for some reason he would it would be like the clients as he talked to them or when
Mm-hmm.
he went to collect or something like that, they all felt like he was talking at them, like he was talking
Yeah.
down to them. So a lot of them bailed out after their contract was up. So we started losing business, and Al always had this silver spoon type of mentality, you know, about him. You know, like everything was handed to him, and he would boast about it. You know, so
Yeah.
it got to a point where he was married. His wife had a little bit of touch on what went on at the company and stuff, but not much at that time. But then Al eventually fell into like a depression or something like that because of
Oh.
business. And long story short, Al ended up committing suicide.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, so he committed suicide, but his wife stood in and took over the company, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, when she took over the company, the business skyrocketed.
I
Like
rocket it. Yeah.
year after her taking over the company, it skyrocketed, and technicians were coming back to the company and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And you know, a lot of it had to do with female taking over an existing business that you know was falling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, a lot of them I give them props because they could come in and like really change things up for the better. You
Yeah.
know, but then again, there's some that come in and male or female, and they could turn it to a disaster for you too.
hmm So here we go right here. So I just showed you three companies. All three are run by a woman. Here's the third one. Nikki is the president and CEO of Nordon, which is you know who Nordon is, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm
So
trying to
well,
get the screen.
Nordon is a distributor. So most women are quite industrious, but yeah, Nordon is a distributor. They are a Hoshizaki distributor. They
Yeah,
do Embera, Beverage Air,
yeah.
Global, which is your ice cream. That's your freezer cases for your ice cream cakes and stuff like that. Nelson, which is your ice dipping cabinets.
Oh, Vindo.
Liber refrigeration is your Vindo, which is vending. So she has assembled quite the the card. Silver King, which is a Burger King. Ojeda. So she's got beverage. So Ojeda is big with beverage as far as your Coke, your Pepsi, Dr. Pepper.
Integrated.
Yeah. And Vera is as well.
Beverage
I've
Air.
gone over that with people. And so what Nordon does is Nordon is also dispatching service.
Get out of here! I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. That's why I tell people to go ahead and call Nordon. So
Yeah.
Nordon is also service. So they have facilities asset management.
Yeah.
So they're also doing that. So if you sign up with Nordon out
Nice.
of Pennsylvania, they're also selling the equipment, they're selling parts, and they're also dispatching out service calls.
I was not aware. I was not
Oh,
aware.
okay.
Of that.
So, but this one here is run by a woman, a
Yeah.
woman.
Yeah.
So, gunmetal guy, what's happening? So, yeah, these, if you look hard enough, there's usually like
Yeah.
this a guy that's put out there, but it's really a woman whose father was the owner of the company, whose father was the technician, and then the daughters usually corporatize the business, take it to the next level, and sometimes many levels beyond the next level.
they polish it up, they polish up
Yeah. So,
that jewel, that precious jewel,
yeah, they like, well, hell, be honest with you, these women's like, I'm not working for nobody else.
right?
To quote this famous politician from Illinois, like, hey, I got this thing, it's freaking golden, and I ain't gonna give it up for nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Mike, where do you stand on like just talking to the people? Like, I know some of my subscribers and followers, they they're kind of in between, looking. They're trying to figure out the insurance side of things, for their business insurance.
Oh, okay.
I was wondering if you could kind of talk about that, like what,
All right.
like how to go about the levels that they need and stuff like
Very,
that. Possible?
it's actually quite simple for them at this level. Why? Because these people, just like you see on the screen, Nordon already has their requirement. So the requirement to run calls for Nordon is the same requirement that
One.
that most of those other ones have. For the manufacturers, it's pretty much going to be the same. So they are going to send you over an example COI, certificate of insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And on there they're going to have what requirements they're looking for, and you just send that on over to whatever insurance company is in your area, because the insurance companies, it's a federal thing, they're not all nationwide.
Mm-hmm.
So each insurance provider has to register for a particular state. So you can't just sell insurance in all 50 states. You can only
Right.
sell insurance where you're licensed.
Mm-hmm.
So, people say, oh, yeah, oh, I call this one, call that one. That's why it's some states you'll have a greater variety.
Mm-hmm.
Not that long ago, man, it used to only be about like two. It was like the Hartford. You had the Hartford, and that was it. So,
Right.
yeah, the Hartford on me, they went sky high after 20 years. The Hartford went sky high. But I used to sing the praises of Hartford, and they're in your area. So, yeah.
Yeah. It used to be, well, it was the insurance capital of the world, Connecticut,
Yes.
You
So
know,
Hartford was one of the few that did. Yeah. So because the commercial insurance is easier to come across than residential, so I had to have somebody that was doing both. And now, you're really not. If you want to reduce your costs, you're going to have to make a choice. So if you just get insurance just for the commercial, and it will be a lot cheaper than if you have it to cover residential and commercial. Yeah, because you're not scratching any floors on commercial side. So
right.
And there's no terrazzi floors. There's no bamboo floors. There's no white oak floors.
Yeah.
This is reclaimed shipwreck wood from the time, from the Nina da Pinta and the Santa Maria. No, you're not. No, you don't have any of that on the commercial.
All the time, you know what I mean? It's like it's like even people will just try it.
That's the thing. If you're new, they will try you. They will try you. They will call you out. Just because that's my policy is I take pictures before, during, and after. People ask why you have like 100,000 photos, and I'm not just being hyperbole. I'm being literally. I have over 100,000 photos. You can always delete them after 3 months or 6 months or a year. You can just delete it. You can take your pictures. You can store them onto a cloud drive of your choice. Gmail or Google Drive, Dropbox, any one of those cloud services, you can deposit those photos over there. When someone says, "Oh no, he did this, he did that," oh no, there was water damage there before. I brought it up to you just because 6 months have gone by. Don't think, nope. You can tell the difference between new water damage and old water damage.
But they will try you. They will try you.
Yeah.
Oh, you knocked the designer doorknob off of our door and damaged it. You know what I mean? It was a $4,000 doorknob.
Before, during, and
after. Always take your pictures, people.
Yes.
Always take your pictures. And it's I'm just hitting on a few points too that I was thinking of, Mike. I wanted to hit you with just to see if you could kind of share some of the knowledge with the viewers and my my subscribers too, because I talk to them a lot about. I've even done a couple of videos on service contracts, and the importance of providing service contracts for these that are independent, that are looking at going independent. How serious should they be looking at providing a service contract for their customers?
Because of our skill level, it is more advantageous for us to offer a preventative maintenance contract. I always preach that. I do cradle to grave service. So I'm usually the one involved with doing the install, because I'm authorized with the manufacturers. I'll do the startup forms. I do the whole nine. So I do the preventative maintenance because it provides stability. You're not running and gunning. You know where your money's coming from. Every 3 to 4 months, you know where your money's coming from. You know, you got X amount of dollars coming from this store, that store, the other. You know what kind of materials you're going to be going through. You just have more of a stability. You're then able to take vacations, trips, things like that. As long as you're doing preventative maintenance, you should not have equipment that is going to fail prematurely. You're typically going to pick up on something that is starting to go sideways. Right. And you bring it up with the client, like, hey, look, we did our preventive maintenance, we cleaned it, and we started to notice these burn marks here, there, the other thing. We noticed your plug is burning, or this, that, and the other. You're going to want to have your electrician take a look at this, that, and the other. So you're going to see certain telltale signs when you're cleaning up something. Say with the refrigeration, you might notice excess moisture or watermarks. And you're like, you know what? There's a lot more water in this drain pan than what it should be. Something is going on. Door gaskets are cracking, eroding, or the employees are improperly loading the unit or leaving the door open excessively. Yeah, which could lead to this unit failing. Absolutely. You're going to notice certain things, and just like you said with the turbo chefs, with the microwaves and things like that, you're going to notice burns. You're going to notice that you might have to reset some things. You're like, what the hell is going on? And you're going to constantly make note of these things, and so you'll be able to have vacation. You'll be able to have more time with family members, whether you have kids or not. You know. Absolutely. And my app said before and after photos have saved me many times. I had another company come after me that broke something. They tried to blame me. Absolutely. That is a good one. That is a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one. That is a good one for people to really look at that, because that's the truth. Someone will come behind you, do the work, mess something up, and then they will say, oh, the last company did it, or the last technician did it, you always want to have those before, during, and after pictures. Those are really save you. Even working for a company, even those that are working for a company should get into practice of it, because it will help them too, because now a lot of these places have multiple companies coming and servicing their equipment.
They do, almost as a checks and balance. It all right, on a number of fronts. So one, to check up to make sure that you're actually replacing the parts that you say you're replacing. Two, to keep pricing in line, and three, to make sure you're responsive. Right. So yes, when the contracts are signed and when the ink is still wet, you're out there, right? Johnny on the spot. You're showing up. Everybody's showing up, but after a while, it might not be there. So so Johnny on the spot, especially if you know that the client is improperly using the equipment. Right. So, but then they'll call somebody else out. Hey, well, we called you, you didn't show up, but this other guy showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Look at you.
That makes me think of an incident that happened not too long ago. I was kind of just chasing behind this one company, service company. Okay. And I'll try not to mention their name if I can help it. But they were in charge of the filters. They had got the gig to replace in all of these C stores. Yeah. So all of a sudden I start getting all of these service calls, all of these P1 service calls, like over a weekend, and I'm like, what? I was like, why are all these calls coming in? And they're saying that the soda machine is down, and that all of the calls were saying the same thing, like just the same thing: soda machine down, fountain machine not working. So, the first couple, I'm like, okay, this is just a weird day, but then it keeps going on, and I'm like, call after call, same thing. So finally, I noticed that the technician that was doing the filters, he wasn't purging the lines. You can purge them right there at the shut off.
At the shut off, the orange line that nobody ever
it's just the thing
install the machine with.
And then shutting down the ice maker, just shut the ice maker down shortly, and the soda machine, so that it's not sucking in the air and starve. It starts to starve the carbonator, and that's what causes the soda machine to fail out on with that message. Oh,
see that? When it's red, it's dead. I don't know if you can see the date on there. What does that say? This is yesterday.
Yeah.
And when it's red, it's dead.
Yeah.
Oh, the manager, he was supposed to change the filters. Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, and then they never changed them.
They never change it. This is for the dishwasher. This dishwasher actually has a fill valve.
Oh, yeah.
A solenoid for the fill valve. And that's the strainer. That's the strainer.
In the solenoid. I see that on some of the Bun solenoids like that.
I said, hey, you're gonna need a filter for your cold water line before it goes into your tankless to help filter out this sediment that's ended up in these machines.
Yeah.
Oh, we got one. You got one. Oh, the manager hasn't been changed it. It's like, oh God. So that one, we talked about that. That's the same coffee shop. It's a local coffee shop. They're going to open up a fourth location by next month.
Yes.
In the next month. So we're hammering out that agreement. I'm going to send them those numbers by tomorrow.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah, because it's a long story. But they have no clue.
Do they? And they have how many other locations?
They only have three. They only have three. I don't want to give away too much because it's going to kind of narrow down who it is. But the gentleman is sourcing direct. Shall we say? He's getting his Pablo Escobar on.
Okay.
He's doing his Tony Montana. And so he's bringing the stuff in direct and then selling to people uncut. So yeah. So so it's a whole thing. There's a lot of money involved, and
sounds like a good opportunity, though.
Yeah, but these type of things are really, somebody's related to someone political in that other country, and then so they're allowed to, because my wife is Jamaican, but I can't get beans from Jamaica. I cannot. They will not allow me to import Blue Moon coffee.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. They will not allow me to get that coffee over here. And if I can get that coffee over here, I could write my own ticket.
Man, could you? I mean, that's I believe that's like one of the largest markup items that's out there. And if you got the good stuff, coffee goes.
Jamaican coffee is low on acidity. Ladies and gentlemen, so it's more akin to chocolate milk. So it's Jamaican coffee. It is coffee from Hawaii, Jamaican, Hawaii, and then what's the other one? I think it's like a South American country that has low acidity in their beans once you roast them.
Colombia?
I don't think it's Colombia. It's another country.
Okay.
And because it's got a lot to do with the volcanic soil. So Jamaica is just a pimple on the earth. It's just
Right.
it's the top. Jamaica is the top of a mountain that's sticking
Right.
out of the Gulf of Mexico, and
Yeah.
same thing Hawaii. Hawaii is just a mountain range.
Yeah.
It's the very top of a volcano, which there are many active volcanoes in Hawaii right now. So
Right.
it's something about the volcanic soil that gives you coffee beans that
Low
are
acidity.
low acidity. So
Mhm.
those are actually blended in with Arabica beans from you know Middle East and all that kind of stuff. Uh,
Just just another a little tip. I don't know. It's probably common. People probably are aware of it, but um, I'm not sure because I really don't bring it up a lot. But when
what's that?
you mentioned the acidity of the coffee, and I know
pH.
when I went to the when I went to the bun training like years. I mean, this is years back.
Uh huh.
One of the instructors showed me. He said always when you do your sample coffee, he said always use a pinch of salt and put it in the top of the coffee, just a pinch of salt, not a lot, and then let it brew. And he's like, it's gonna be the best tasting coffee that they ever had, and then at the same time, it's not going to hit them with the acidity of the coffee. So
Yeah.
they're gonna have that smooth taste without that acidy after
Yes.
thing, you know. So
That is the thing.
yeah,
You're right. So all this third wave coffee jazz, they go into that.
oh
I
yeah,
have a thing against against coffee houses. They are by far one of the worst clients you can have,
mm,
just due to their pure arrogance,
mm-hmm.
right? So
Yep.
oh, I know everything about it's
Yeah,
strato and
yeah.
double latte, half calf, mochaccino,
Oh,
yeah, half mint, whatever, all that bull. And they're ridiculous. So they think they know everything about everything, and then when it comes to the dishwasher at the cafe, they don't know anything about it. When it comes to the
right,
refrigerator, they don't know anything about it, but they still have that
right.
arrogance to them.
They have that flow about them, like
Yeah, and it's just a pain. It's a pain in the ass. I end up yelling at more
yeah.
coffee shop employees than a little bit.
Mhm.
Um, okay, so Jay Riddick says, could you give us some examples of what you would offer for PM for both refrigeration and hot side? And would you offer them in packages a la carte? I guess you mean in packages or a la carte. So you wanna tackle that one first, and then I'll follow.
I will try. I will try, Mike, because it's a few sections there. So just to kind of split it up, I kind of wanted to know, like, because he said refrigeration. He mentioned refrigeration, so I'm just wondering, are you considering
Walk-ins.
walk-in, reach-ins, open air?
We'll roll with that one. We'll roll with it. Go ahead.
All
I
right.
tune, flow, just roll with it. Roll with it.
I mean, like, are we, which one that you're talking about would be a major point because, all of them could be a little more detailed as far as PMs go on the refrigeration side. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so in my personal opinion, and just it's just something that I'm doing now. It's just kind of simplifying things for me that I'm older, so I'm trying to simplify things more. But
Yeah.
but I would only present PM packages for hot on the hot side. On
Oh.
on my on that end, I would present it for the hot side, and if I did anything for the cold, I would do the Bun Ultra twos. Um, as far as PMs go. Um,
Interesting.
but on the PM side for refrigeration, it gets involved because you got to remember if you have is it going to be a corporate company that you're doing that for, or like a mom and pop shop, you know, and because that makes a difference. Because
It
then
does.
on the corporate side, I mean, even on the independent side, you're gonna have remote units. So are you gonna be willing to get up on those roofs in the winter time, clearing out those filters, replacing the contactor that went bad, replacing a fan motor that went bad? These are the things that you got to keep in mind. So I would say, in my opinion, I would present separate PM packages for each. I wouldn't combine them both in the same agreement. I would kind of separate them and do it like that. Especially if you plan on doing the refrigeration, kind of space it out so that it doesn't blend in with your hot stuff too. Because sometimes with the refrigeration, you might be on that. You might be on that for months on certain things, especially
Oh yeah.
if you take on walking.
Oh God.
I found
Yeah.
it's like could be a never-ending story with some of these walk-ins.
It is a never-ending story. It always is. It always is. So, all right, and thank you, No News Podcast, for your kind words.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, let me see. All right, so
Contractor.
let me take let me take my crack at it. I'm kind of gonna do a two front attack on it as well.
Okay.
I'm going to start with the mom and pops, because your mom and pop is operating completely differently than your corporate. And when we say corporate, we mean regional. We mean nationwide. It's all one and the same. As long as they have structure,
right,
it's corporate. So with your mom and pop, I'm not doing any walk-in. So with the mom and pop, I'm gonna do quarterly, right? And I throw in the ice machine in my quarterly. I throw in the ice machine. I do the whole shebang. If they have more units, I adjust it. I adjust the numbers if they have more units. If they have fewer units, then they pay a higher rate. So on the refrigeration, that includes me cleaning the condensers. And with a lot of places now, I have that new Milwaukee snake hose thing. So it's very easy now for me to clean the drain lines. So I'm doing the condenser cleaning and drain line cleaning. It's a one-way cleaning though. It's only drawing through the drain line. I'm not blowing anything up into the unit. So I'm doing those two. That does not cover any repair. So if it needs door gaskets, all that falls under repair. So I'm doing the refrigeration. I'm doing a light cleaning on the ice machine. It's first time we'll spend more time than we normally would, but after the first time, it's going to be a light breakdown, cleaning all the parts. We don't burn the ice, not burning the ice, and that's going to be like once a year that we're gonna burn the ice. So we're going to run the solution through the machine. Of course, everything gets wiped down. All the parts that come off, they get cleaned, because after we do the first burn, after we acid wash that machine, everything else, once you're changing filters and all that kind of stuff, it should be a pretty rapid. Yeah, it should be pretty quick to do those. So we do the ice machines, and that's going to be the condenser is going to get cleaned on that one as well. So refrigeration, that is ice machines. We do hot side as well. So hot side is going to, what do I do for hot side? It's not much. that the customers are wanting on the hot side. My hot side is basically like bun toasters and that type of thing. Anything with a fan, anything with a fan on it, not the extraction hood, of course, but if you have a deep fryer with the blowers, that includes Vulcan or Frymaster, uh, Ultra Fryer, and they have a blower. When they accumulate that flour and stuff like that, those blowers are not going to move enough air, and it's going to trigger error, and the fryers won't light. So we'll do that kind of thing, light dusting off of that. It's all light work. When I do a sandwich shop, I'm in and out of that sandwich shop in an hour or less.
Mhm.
And when I say hour or less, it's typically I'm in and out of your typical sandwich shops in 45 minutes.
Mhm.
So I'm going through cleaning the condenser coils on all their refrigeration, and taking care of whatever toasters they might have for their bread, and then I'm out of there. I'm
So,
out.
on your side, I'm noticing you can pick up a whole lot more pieces of equipment.
Yeah.
On the corporate side, they make up the list. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like
Oh
they
yeah.
like I'll say it like 7-Eleven. They used to have the roller grills on the list, and
Hmm.
of equipment to be maintained in the agreement. You know, so
Yes.
the roller grills used to be on the list, and then I was so happy when they took them off. They took them off the list and made it where it's just a service uh, piece of equipment to be serviced.
Right.
When
Well,
they
that's
break it down.
corporate though, and see that's corporate. So all this other stuff I was talking about, those are mom and pops.
That's
Uh,
and
uh, that's so, like you said, corporate is usually going to give you this checklist.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
They got this checklist of all this stuff on there. You do this, you do that. What was this like? What was that like? And you usually spend more time with the damn checklist than you are doing the stuff.
absolutely. Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and so on that, it's typically all right. When it comes to corporate, you're not cleaning the ice machine because that's not a PM. That's going to be that's like Learning Trade said. That's a complete and separate contract
yeah. That's
when it comes to cleaning the ice machine. When you're talking about corporate, that's a whole nother thing. That's going to be on a whole nother schedule. It's usually not thrown in there with the PM. Um,
yeah. Because a lot of times those ice makers are new Hoshizakis that are still under warranty. So
yeah.
you know how they play with that, Mike.
They don't. Yeah, they don't want to do anything. They want to wait 3 years,
Yeah,
and then 3 years and 2 days later,
mm,
we need to start the PMs. What's wrong with it?
yeah,
Oh, there's nothing wrong with it. We just need to start these PMs like today. How soon could you start?
yeah, yeah,
What's wrong with it? Come on now. Oh,
yeah,
well, if you can start at that store over there first, they were
yeah,
saying this, that, and the other, and you
yeah.
get there, they haven't changed the filters, they haven't done anything
They haven't
because,
done
quote
anything.
unquote, it was under warranty.
Right, right, and they never maintained it. Just like just
Never.
just like those the Bun Ultra twos, the NX models.
Yeah. But
Mike,
these people, they shorten the life so much.
those NX models are like their newest line. One of their
Yeah.
newest lines as far as the Ultra 2 style machines go.
Yeah.
And I'm just amazed at how they're not keeping up with the PMs. And like now, there's so much money to be made in this on this side that
Man.
it's amazing. I mean, just with PMs. The PM kits they come through Partstown naturally, but you can get the kits, and I mean, there's mom and pop shops that always have these in them. They'll have some sort of that, maybe not this model, but they'll have some model of a slush machine that could be worked on. So I mean, like, look at everything in this field,
Mhm.
because
I,
like I said, like those should be PM'd every 6 months. All those seals that you
yep.
show, the bushings, the rear seals, those should all be replaced. That's the kit right there. And it's like, if if you hit like a number of mom and pop shops alone, those park and recreation facilities in your
Mhm.
towns, they all have slushy machines at the base.
Oh, I hate doing those type of things. Either like you said, for the parks, or if they're for like a high school, at
Yeah,
their stadiums. Oh, I hate.
malls, a lot of malls, they have them in the center stalls in the malls.
Bro,
So
I had to I had to go to Great American Cookie today in the mall. Oh, come quick! The oven is smoking. The
yeah,
oven is smoking. The
oh yeah,
damn I had to explain to him that the belt is worn, and yeah, that when that belt starts to slip, you're gonna get some smoke. George, okay, because so George is looking to get into this. So George, this is the gentleman I was mentioning from Monday. Um, my channel, I am on Mondays at 7 p.m. Central. Yeah, I do. I use my Milwaukee for the drain, and I come on Thursday evening after a gentleman called Mike Sneed. So typically, you could find me between 8 and 9 p.m. Central Time. And then Kevin, would you like to tell him when you come on
yeah.
for your show?
Definitely, you could check out my channel, Learn a Trade. I'm 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 not as efficient as Mike is on the live. He actually got me into it by inviting me to talk on his show, and I appreciate that. But I'm just not as active on the lives as much, because I just can't fit it. I just can't fit it in uh, at a good time where I feel like I'm gonna get a message out, or get information out to a good number of people. So I really haven't pinpointed a good day for a live, but I usually put out a lot of replay type videos that you can replay, and then also I have a website that you can go to, www.learnatrade.online. You can go there, and there's a video library. I got some tutorials that are up. I got a shop also that has some training guides to help you. Um, I'm not sure, what your level of experience is yet, but these videos on both our channels and on the website will definitely help you grow and grow your business too. I see Mike just put up the link, so that's the link
Yes.
for it, George. So definitely reach out, and you can also reach out to me on email on the from the webpage too. So definitely feel free to reach out anytime.
1 second. I'm going to play this quick video for the people. Oh, good lord! All right, sorry about that. That was loud.
All right.
Oh, I think I'm deaf in one ear now. These are the attachments for Milwaukee's. Oh, I don't even need the music then. This is the attachment for Milwaukee's vacuum system. So they have these different attachments that they have created just for HVAC R,
Mm-hmm.
and so they came up with this with using our input, the air tip system. So these pieces, and I've done a number of ones with it. These pieces will hold on. These pieces will actually see, as you can see, they're designed to go inside of your drain hose.
Yeah.
So I can go in and then you can clean the little crevices on evaporators and condensers. Right. So you got a number of hoses.
Yeah.
Yes. I
That's nice, man.
absolutely.
Since I've been watching you, Mike,
Yeah.
you've been pulling me to Milwaukee more and more, bro. I gotta tell you that, man. For real.
I'm China Red. I'm China Red. What can I say?
No, I
So
get
you see
it.
how he's pulling that out. So yeah, you can. It is very helpful. What I will say is this: nowadays, these condenser fan motors are plastic. I
Yeah.
have broken a condenser fan motor because I didn't want to turn the damn unit off. And I'm going in there in the Hoshinaki in the condenser air and ping. I was like,
Yeah.
dang. I had
Yeah.
to take some zip ties and put that damn fan motor back
Yeah.
together until I got him a new one. Let me-
Does that kit come like that with is that like a 5-6 piece kit? Or
yeah. I did a thing with it earlier. So this is the knuckle, the adapter.
Okay.
To fit on, like as they showed earlier, this fits on any type of hose, So it doesn't matter what you have. If you got shot back, if you got rigid, it doesn't matter. It will work with the Milwaukee tip system. And then as you see, 5/8, 3/8, half inch, 3/8, quarter, and they're different lengths.
That's nice.
So
nice.
when I'm working on, as you know, when we're doing with this refrigeration, let's just say it's a merchandiser or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You can jam that hose inside the drain line and it will draw everything out because it will form a perfect seal, and whatever clog is in there, because the tubes are translucent, you actually see the plug coming through. So no longer are you blowing the plug up into the unit to come back into the drain.
Right.
Because guys they think once they blow it out, it's magic and the thing is gone. No, that plug is still in there and it's gonna get softened up and it's gonna end up blocking that drain again. But this actually extracts it from the system, and you get to see it go through the freaking tube into your shop vac, and you get to show the customer, hey, look, man, I cleaned it. I do videos where I take the little video and I show them it's coming out, and then you get rid of all that freaking water. You get rid of all that water. No longer do you have all that water coming out. So how entertaining it is. How big your shop vac is determine how much water you can get rid of.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't even deal with that.
I mean, a lot of shop vacs don't have a kit like that that has these attachments like that.
Right.
Them,
so this has it and it works with all different anything that's got a line, anything that you're dealing with that's got some kind of a hose with it. You can stick this sucker in there, and I've got the whole little collection. I got like 90% of this.
Right.
I got 90% of that. So yeah, it works. It works. I mean, yeah, it's what I was detailing my wife's car. I was you're able to get into all these little crevices with that, and then they have the just with this one particular kit. It's a very rigid hose, so you could like scrape and all that stuff with the end of it. It is. I was kind of leery of it, but China Red, so I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and give it a try.
Right.
I have been so thankful for this purchase. So thankful for this purchase, because as you can see here, you can choose whatever size diameter hose you want to work with, and you could sneak it in all. I have the cleanest PMs you ever want to see.
That's actually for PMs, man. I mean, like even around condenser coils and stuff like that, and on the FPD. When you take off the side panels,
you don't have to do that.
You could just knock all of that out right there.
Snake that in there because it's flexible yet still rigid, and you can get it in there, and with your shop vac, it just pulls out all of that stuff. And then they have the other brush attachments. I don't mean to make this into a Milwaukee video, but you have the other attachments. Somebody asked the question, so if you're gonna get me to talk about Milwaukee. Watch that.
You see no news said you.
Yeah.
You just
Watch
told how
it.
rich you are, buddy.
Watch this. Milwaukee Air Brush. So I picked up a number of the brushes. This one I didn't. I kind of thought that this brush was going to be a little. I thought I was going to get let down by it. I thought it was some bull, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It was on sale, so I like ooh. So let me go ahead and get it anyway. And you know, blah blah blah. It's got this crosshead. Damn. It's got this. Where's my thing? It's got this head that allows you to clean the condenser or the evaporator. Well, you know, very rarely you evaporate the condenser, and so it has that crosshead design so that you can pick up.
Anything either.
It's not damaging. And I thought it was marketing. I thought it was marketing. And it really does work. It really does work. So this is what it looks like. That's the head. It's just a simple cross. And when I'm doing coils, you know, you brush it and everything comes off. And because it's a shop vac, you can spray it.
Yeah.
You know, so it doesn't matter if it's foam. It doesn't matter if you're spraying a liquid. It doesn't matter. So why would you just take a coil brush when this is a coil brush and it's going to take it and put it in your shop vac, and now you don't have to worry about cleaning off your brush and then figuring out where you're going to put that lint. Like, oh, where's the closest trash? Yeah. I don't worry about that. Everything goes into my Milwaukee. What I used to have. I got some other shop vacs. This will work with that shop vac in a bucket. So so if you get that little simple shop vac head and then a simple 5-gallon bucket, this works with all of them. This works with all of them.
So it's universal. It can match up to certain hose sizes and stuff.
Any hose size, it will work with. So, like I said, I was pleasantly surprised by it. Yeah. I got this this cross one. Now I'm gonna tell you what these two. I don't know how well you can see on the screen. I don't know what the hell these two are called. These two are my favorites. The one that you see right here, this one has two brushes on it. So it's a long nozzle and it has a soft long bristle, and then it has a hard long bristle. And so when you're going on a coil, on a condenser coil, and you need a little extra rigidity, this has got it. This other one here has a wide mouth. So its configuration is different. And yes, it only has one set of bristles, but the bristles are hard, and it will go ahead and it will wipe off whatever is collected on that condenser.
Yeah.
You know, so it's, you know, just think about it so here's a better look. When you're dealing with a walk-in, right? And you're on the back end of that. So there's an evaporator. So we're dealing on the back end, and that evaporator has all that matting to it. Look at that bristle.
Yeah.
So that sticks out quite a bit. If you do have room to get this behind, because it doesn't have any bends to it. The other one I showed you, you could kind of take that on an angle. And this one, you can see it is on an angle too. So you kind of work at an angle if you're close up against the back wall, as most evaporators are with walk-ins. You can put this sideways on an angle, and you could still get those coils, and you can get all of that. And then with the other round, the hoses, you can go ahead and get out all the water from the drip tray, and then you can actually snake it in through the drain hole
Through the drain.
for the evaporator. Yeah, on a walk-in. So you're
Cool.
using it as a snake.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, because really, especially with the drains, even on the soda and Slurpee
Yes.
drains,
Yes.
a lot of times a
Trey.
will blow it out, thinking that, oh, I got it, I'm just gonna knock it out.
And you just moved it down.
Are knocking out. Sometimes you knock out the drain line out
Yes.
of the sewer drain.
Yes.
And then they don't go back and check. So next
I'm glad you said that.
A repeat call for a leak.
Yes.
Then you have a leak. So that's really good to think about using those that kit.
You get to on exactly what you're saying. You get to see the blockage come out.
Yeah.
Because when guys are blowing, when guys are blowing, like you said, they just think it's magic and it's mysteriously gone. And it's like, no, you've blown apart the PVC somewhere, and they don't get that part. They don't get that part that, hey, some of this drain has come apart somewhere. You didn't blow out the blockage. You actually blew apart some of that PVC, or some of the holes that just had a twist, had a tension compression ring on it somewhere that's apart. And now, like you said, now there's water somewhere. Where you don't know. There's water somewhere, and you're gonna find out a month later that that's where the water is coming from. Yeah.
I don't know if you caught it, Mike, but I sent you an email a couple of days ago. Was a picture. It was just a picture of a drain line that I came across. But I don't know if you caught it or not, but yeah, it was just a picture of a drain line that I came across. I got a call for a leak, and it was just the way that they ran the drain line that really did it. And then they thought they could use half or 3/4 into a half inch tube, and then use the tan duct tape.
I got it right here.
You see it?
Hold on a second.
Yeah, that's a good example on how not to run a drain line.
All right, where is my? Let me see.
And see, I wanted to do a live on that, just to show that part. But it's like sometimes when I get on these sites, a lot of times like people just come around. They just come around. Yeah. Here it is. Yeah, you see that?
You know what? Funny story. I had a guy who was working for me, and he decided that he was going to offer his services to one of my clients, and he did that on a drain line for a walk-in.
Wow.
Yeah. Freezer.
Wow. He did that after he left. After he left you?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see that? I mean, that's just, it's just some of the stuff that you run into, and you can't, I can't believe that someone would just leave it like that.
They think the tape is okay. They think tape is going to work.
Yeah. Yeah. But that thing was leaking all over. That thing.
Oh, yeah.
All underneath. And they were, naturally the customer, they see it, water coming from underneath a Slurpee machine or a soda machine. They automatically call and say there's a leak at the soda machine or the Slurpee machine. But really it was coming from a badly run drain line.
I don't know if you guys can see this, but back in the day, see these? I don't know if they can see this. We used to have a message board, right? So this stuff is 2008, 2009. Let me see here. we used to ask what we had YouTube now, but people used to ask, hey, how do we do this, and hey, how do we do that?
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to, let me see if I can show you this one. Oh, you guys can't. I'm trying to make this bigger. Damn. I'm trying. Somebody was asking me. I had to get off topic real quick, but somebody was asking me about the appliance blue book, about the labor guide, and I have it all right here. The whole thing was started on this message board back in 2008. Labor. Let me see here. Yeah, it was all here where guys kept asking, hey, how much do you charge? Hey, what do you think is a good rate? And this is I know you guys can't really make this out. I can't make this big enough. But it was asked of the guy who, I can't remember the guy's name is, but you know who the guy is from Blue Book. So this is when it was here using this service back in the day that that the guy came up with the Blue Book with the labor rate. Before that, people just charge whatever. See, here it is again. Pricing. This was some guy in Tampa, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
You know, walking into a Lowe's and finding that the guy was asking how much to charge for this kind of stuff. The same questions that you guys are asking now has been the questions that have been asked always.
Yeah.
Oh, Viking is crap. That was 2009.
Yeah, there's always been
complaints. Maytag
on billing.
Yeah, so
on rates. Period. You know.
Yeah, so it is just something that one husband and wife came up with and felt that these would be sufficient to do that nationwide. It didn't take into account New York, LA, Miami, Chicago. It didn't take into account cost of living. It didn't take into account any of that. This is just something that he came up with at the request of the industry to do that. They asked for that, and he said, yeah, I can do that. And 2 weeks later, he had the list. And the guy said, hey, well, this list doesn't work for Viking Sub-Zero Thermador. So he said, I got you. Came back again another week later, and he had the list for premium appliances. So, you know, this is just, I just wanted people to know that this is just something that people just came up with off the top of their head. This is not written in stone. Everyone's rates are different. There is no universal rate. Everyone's cost of doing business is different. My book of business is completely different than Kevin's. You know, so all our stuff is different. No two service companies have the same book of business. No two companies. You know, some might have a mix of universities and hospitals. Others might be like, you know, Learned Trade is dealing with movie theaters and convenience stores. Yeah. So it is all about what you want to do. So
yeah, I mean, like now I'm starting to pick up a lot of Popeyes.
Oh no! Oh
yeah!
No!
Yeah. And yeah.
So many dominoes. Oh man,
that is the truth. But you know, little by little, I'm seeing like more and more issues, you know, and it's just nonstop, Mike. So
again, that's a Hoshizaki shop. That's a Hoshizaki. So, all right, let me, if you got a second, let me.
Yeah.
So the history of Popeyes and Churches share a similar history. And then Popeyes created the Ultra Fryer.
Mm-hmm.
So Popeyes actually created two different fryers. I can't remember what the other one is,
Mm-hmm.
but so the owner at the time, the owner of Popeyes had commissioned his people to make a fryer,
Mm-hmm.
and so Ultra Fryer was one of theirs to handle their proteins. So yeah, normally a Popeyes is a mess. Sometimes you'll find that they will have all the same fryer, but whether it's Ultra Fryer or Pitco, Ultra Fryer, Pitco, or what's the other one?
Oh, for Ultra Fryers?
Yeah,
Or
well, we'll stick with those two.
Yeah.
So normally it's that, and how Popeyes used to be was the owners and the owners' relatives used to take care of the locations. I was in the Ultra Fryer class, and I was sitting in class with two different owners from their locations.
Mm-hmm.
They were in the class to learn how to take care of their own fryers. So that is typically what they do. Just like with what's another Louisiana one? Checkers. Right? Okay. Checkers owners are usually, you see them with their little tackle box, their little plastic $8 tackle box full of Stanley
tools.
Yeah. So it is. So you're gonna have your hot holding stuff over there. You're gonna have your. It's usually gonna be a 2,000-pound Hoshizaki ice machine there.
Yeah.
You got. Yeah, I know you're in there with the soda.
But I feel I got lucky, or I made the right decision because I decided not to take on any of it. I decided to just take I just took the Ultra 2s that they have.
Okay. The Ultras in the ice machine, or just the Ultras?
Just the Ultras.
What?
Yeah, I just
took on,
yeah.
Oh, nice.
I didn't take on the ice either. I didn't take on the ice.
You didn't take on the ice? They are notorious for killing the pumps, the circulation pumps.
Right.
They will annihilate a circulation pump on a Hoshizaki.
But I'm sure I'm gonna get another stab at it next year, because this was my first take with them. So I played it on the cautious end, and I'm just taking the Ultra 2s for now. But next year I'm gonna revisit that, because I know they're gonna need help with the ice makers.
Now, people don't realize how much work, just like JP53 is saying, that the Popeyes Ultra 2 is keeping them busy. So period. If you're doing the Ultra 2s, you're doing those Elmico or Elmco. What the hell's that other one called? Not by Bun, but what is it? Elmco. Anyway, any one of the knockoffs of the Bun.
Yeah.
You will stay. I mean, there's a ton of work. You wouldn't.
No doubt.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe how many places have that slushy machine.
Yeah.
They all have that slushy, man.
Including the mom and pop shop. I mean, the mom and pop shops are big with it, man. And
yeah,
it's and a lot of times those are right in in a certain vicinity. You don't have to go far for them, so it's really a good grab if you can pick up on a nice little service contract for some Ultra 2 work in these pop shops. Definitely.
Hey, very rarely do you guys need to add refrigerant to those units. That is not a common thing.
No, you're right. It's very rare. And then now, Mike, like they're moving over to the 290.
Yeah.
On the NX units. So that's another change that's coming about with the different type of refrigerant.
I don't know how they've gotten away with that for so long.
Yeah.
I don't know how they got away with that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
But yeah, there's I mean there's plenty of work with them. I mean the thing right
Oh
now is that I'm getting used to is the condition of some of the Popeyes when you go into them. So
yeah. Slipping and sliding, huh? Slipping and sliding.
slide and that and
Dude, they're so. All right,
some
I'm gonna say that there is a certain group that has taken that has been sold into owning those units. And it's not like Jay-Z said, what tribe you with, and it's not the Feather Tribe. So, is that the case with what you're dealing with?
with
The the ownership, is it Red Dot, or is it
it's
they
a
have been they
it's
have been
a
selling those?
it's a mixture.
Really?
It's a mixture on the private side, on the independent side, but on the corporate side, it's more Indian. Yeah,
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's Red Dot. It's
yeah,
Red Dot. What tribe you with? Red Dot or Feather?
yeah.
And yeah, it has been a lot of, well, there are a number of industrious Indians here. They've actually made their money from the oil industry, and they've done very well with owning these gas stations and convenience stores. Um, and yeah, they in turn, their idea of diversifying is not is no longer staying in gas stations, but now they're branching out into
Other
laundromats. They're
laundry
branching out into Burger King. They're branching out into Popeyes.
Popeyes. Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah,
one group here, well, they own Subways too, but there's one group here, so they saw the writing on the wall with Subway, and they moved over from Subway into Popeyes. So they
right,
own like about 20 or so Popeyes locations in 3 different states. Um,
right.
yeah, so they started out so well,
Hmm.
redesigned all the stores, the brand new design with the little wood and tile, the nice tile design. You know what I'm talking about, right? They had that whole new
Oh
Popeyes
yeah,
thing
yeah,
with the little ornate design, the little tchotchkes around and stuff, like it's a
yeah,
Fridays.
yeah,
They
yeah.
had all that
Yeah.
New Orleans style stuff in the store, but
The
up
decorated bottles with
the
peppers.
decorated bottles,
Yeah,
yes, but
yeah,
they're not keeping up after the remodel. They're letting it slide. They're
let it
letting it slide.
yeah, absolutely.
All right. So what is JP saying? Love the NX unit. Is that the
Yeah, that's the Ultra too.
that's the oh, okay. I
Hmm.
thought he was talking about the Volraf. Yeah. But there are so many of these, and you can make a lot of money taking care of these.
Yeah,
PMs are, yes. All right. So if you guys are not aware, if you're not doing the PMs, what you're going to have is you're going to start having leakage. Those
yeah,
things are going to leak syrup every freaking where. The counter is going to have syrup. There's going to be trails here. There's going to be frost. The things are going to frost up. It's not going to allow the beverages to come out of the front, and that's because of the seals and all that kind of stuff.
yeah. Then once that one thing leads to another, because
Yes.
soon after that, the uh, the drive shaft assembly uh,
Oh,
pin
yes,
ends up.
yes. So many people. Let me see that drive shaft tool.
When that drive shaft assembly pops on you, that's when you're going to get a sensor error. And then that sensor error is just because one of the pins are broken. So you'll
Now
need
you
that.
did a whole video on that.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
You did a whole video on that.
Yeah.
So, oh, there's the
Yeah.
Spaceman one. Yeah, Spaceman is re-engineering their equipment. But there's the Bond
That's the
unit
one.
for,
Yeah.
yeah, $200.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't see. Let me add
And
that.
it, just to mention, like if you see the price on that, so like if you work for a company, more than likely they're going to be very reluctant to keep those on every truck.
Right.
Uh,
Understandable.
so what they'll probably do is they'll probably keep, depending on how many techs they got, they'll probably keep a whole kit in the shop
Yeah.
that will have that removal tool in there. And then that way, if they have a guy that's going to do one of those jobs, he'll come and get the kit, that kit. And then like maybe some other techs that you have scattered out in outer areas, they'll probably have their own, like maybe 2, maybe 3, but they really won't put those on every truck.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of differences when it comes to that, depending on what companies, how many techs they have and what they're looking for, because they really watch having money just sitting on the
Well,
shelf,
you get a couple of those disappear before you know it's $1,000.
Yeah,
That just vanished.
Yep. Yeah,
some guys will have them on the truck and lose track of them. You got it? No, I don't have it, and it's on that guy's truck.
Yeah,
you got it? No, I don't have it. I'll put it back. No, you didn't. You didn't turn it in.
Yeah,
you didn't turn it in.
You get stuff that it winds up missing. Then, like down the line, it might turn up inside a machine somewhere.
Yep.
So, you end up. That's that drive shaft right there. The NX has a nicer, a more sturdy drive shaft assembly. I have to say that now, because the pin on the drive shaft for the NX, I haven't had to change a lot of those off of the motor, off of the drive shaft of the motor, because the pin for that's on the actual drive shaft is like very thick. So I think that like kind of they really corrected that good.
Yeah, they did a video. I know you did a video, but Bun did a video too on it.
Yeah.
Stating, how you should do it and how it, how much pressure you should put on there. All right, that's cool. Changing the pin, is $2. A motor is $600 on up. Yeah. Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Yeah. That is true. And that's how you got to think too, as a tech too. And be smart about the parts you're replacing. And you want to try your best. I know you've heard the saying, Mike. Not to be a parts changer.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that happens just off the cuff if you're just making guesses.
Well, to be honest, some clients
change it.
Yeah, some clients aren't right. They aren't appreciative of you trying to save them some money. I just got into that with a client last week. It was an Isomatic, and they had about 3 things wrong with the unit. And I said, "Hey, look, man, I tried to, without going and replacing all 3 units, I tried to get you up and running, but it wouldn't stay. So now you got to have all 3. So, oh man, you got to come back again? Yeah, I got to come back. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah.
You're already bitching about the price as it is now. You imagine I'm gonna hit you with that all at one time?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's out there, and I mean, some customers appreciate it, but then there's some that don't, that really don't.
Are you sure we needed it? Is you sure it wasn't just this and that? And like, yeah, and it's usually those customers that have no idea how things work.
Yeah. I'll tell you one. I had a customer. This was not too long ago, a few months back. I finished up fixing his 2-barrel Slurpee machine, and I was behind the machine, so I could you could see all that stickiness and all that gunk that just formed up from a leak, from past leaks, and it formed up on the floor. So I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna clean that up while I'm back here. So I grabbed the mop in the back room, and then mopped it up, you know. And then I'm going to put the mop back up, and then this guy was gonna rip my head. He wanted to rip my head off because I used his mop, you know. And then he says, next time you bring your own mop.
You know,
but you run into that, you know, you run into that kind of stuff. It's a trip.
I've explained that to people. I said, so I'm going to have this wet thing with me, molding and mildewing, and then I'm going to bring all that bacteria and all that mold, and I'm going to introduce that to your place. Is that what you really want?
Yeah, but you know what? You know, like you said before, you know, those customers that you know, you say, you know, I'm not going to service you no more, and then you know, a few weeks or a month down the line, they're calling right back. So this guy calls back, Mike, and he's like, hey, you know, can you come look at my machine again? And I said, no, you know why? And he says, why? I said, because I don't have a mop.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you know,
you guys don't appreciate how funny that is. Were you able to stick it, man? Were you able to stick it to them? Yeah. Take that whole line and run it back up. Yeah. You know, the heart of darkness.
You got to bring it back to them just to make them more aware of what they're saying. You know, because
they're foolishness.
People really got to realize, as service technicians, you're there to help them. You see what I'm saying? You're there to help them. There's no other purpose. I mean, whether you're electrician, plumber, service technician of any type, you're there to help them as a customer. And when it's not appreciated like that, it's gonna get to you. But the thing that I always learned, especially as an independent tech, was the pen is more powerful than any words. You know,
they do that before you give them their damn bill. It is the stupidest thing. You know, I haven't given you a bill yet, right? You do realize that. Now, what?
You have an invoice coming, you know?
You got an invoice coming, you idiot. So, and they act like the price is written in stone. No, the price is not written in stone. Everything is always moving. But back to your mop thing, I love my shop vac. That's why I use that shop vac.
Oh, yeah.
And I go to the back, I go to the mop sink, I dump my shop vac out, and then I hose it out.
Yeah.
I hose it out. I use their disposable towels. I wipe the motor area underneath of it. I don't wipe the bucket part, but I hose that off.
Right.
But I wipe out the motor part and then put that sucker back together. And then I'll stroll around.
You're on your way, you know? Yeah, man.
No, and the hose. And I make sure I run water through that damn hose.
The hose, definitely, because you know, all of that. But that is really good, because I got to look into that, because I mean, for those especially for those evaporators, coils, condenser coils, that would be perfect now with the brush and everything.
It is. It is. I love it. I love it so much. I want to say, make sure you're doing all your prep work. Don't clean your equipment on your time. Clean that equipment on the customer's time. You went and cleaned up all their muck, all that stuff. Like the guy was bitching at Kevin with Learn Trade about, you want to use my mop to clean up. Nah, I'll whip out my shop vac, and I have a very low profile head with a wide mouth, and it'll suck up everything on the floor, because I don't want anybody to slip and fall on the job. So I'll also, when I'm done cleaning condenser coils and stuff like that, I will dry up the floor of the shop vac. But I'm going right there, and I'm spending, whether it's 5 minutes or 15 minutes, I'm cleaning all my equipment right then and there. I'm using their cleaning solution, the whole nine.
And I know this might sound like menial to some people, but that is so important. That part of cleaning up, and another part I want to stress to people that are new into the business is like checking your work, rechecking your work. Okay, not
Yeah.
only just looking at it, but more so like operating that machine, or
Hmm.
turning on those heaters, and making sure that a turbo chef oven cycles at least a couple of times
Yeah.
before you break out. Make sure that ice harvests a couple of cycles before you cover it up and then head out, because that kind of stuff is what's going to help cut down your repeat calls. And as a independent, you don't want a customer complaining that they have to always call you back after you fix something, or
Hmm.
you work for a company. You don't want to have that over your head, being used over your head all the time, that you have a lot of callbacks and stuff like
Right.
that when it's time for you to negotiate a raise, or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly. All that needs to be built to the customer anyway. When anytime you checking that sucker out, test it, test it. That's why I'm telling people. They say, "Oh man, well, how many calls you doing a day?" Shit, maybe one. I mean,
right.
it all depends on how long I have to be there. Do I have to remove all the ice on that unit? If I gotta de-ice it, and
Yeah,
then I'm going to check it to find out where everything went wrong. I mean, that takes time. That takes time.
it
So
does take time. You don't want to rush it, man, and
yeah.
do your due diligence. I see
Hmm.
JPS3 had a question on the cold brews.
Yeah, the Uline made Joe Tap.
I have
So
not worked on the Joe Tap, but I have worked on the the Bun Nitro units.
mm,
Um, I have worked on those, and the Starbucks. Uh,
yeah, I've
you know,
only worked on them when they were residential. This is how Uline end up getting sold is this actual unit right here. This Joe Tap is, and they, if you look at the older units, they say Uline on them.
okay,
Yeah,
okay, yeah,
it's the Uline. It's the commercial line. Uh, yeah. So I've got a long history with Uline.
okay.
So
Yeah,
Uline. Oops.
I've had some recent work with the Nitro, installing the Bun Nitro, and with the handicap accessible buttons. And
I
uh,
just know that they can be noisy as hell. I don't know why they make them so damn noisy.
yeah, and yeah, those little pumps
Yeah.
on them.
Yeah.
You would think they wouldn't be that noisy because they have smaller, like smaller tubes, but they are a little noisy.
The employees beat them within an inch of their lives, and those damn things are so noisy. They can be so. Oh, there it is, the commercial side. All right, Bar Solutions. So Joe Tap is just a brand name, but it helped them to get sold. Oh, I'm trying to. I wish I could show you the history of it. I just want to show you the history real quick
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the Joe Tap. So Uline, this is Uline commercial, and theirs is Joe Tap is one of theirs, and it really took that company and brought it into the modern times.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to see if I. Oh yeah, I think this is it here. Rapid Chill. But that's all it is. There's not really much to it, and they don't even make these blast chillers. So the whole, let me show them the whole Middleby.
It's
Uh,
more like
oh no, well built. That's what he wanted to talk about.
commercial equipment there, huh?
What's that? Well, they don't make it. They outsource all that stuff. This is probably that Verifrost or whatever the hell their name is. This is chances are that's their stuff.
Right. Right.
So that's what everybody does now. I was explaining that to a client today. I said, "Hey, look, can't get any parts for that because they bought it from, from somebody else and slapped their name on it." So this is now all well built. He was asking the question about, well built. Starbucks. Kevin, tell them where I just came from. We were on the phone. Where I just come from?
Oh, when you were when we were talking?
Yeah.
Oh, you were like an hour away. You were like an hour away.
What job was I leaving?
A bun.
Starbucks. I was leaving Starbucks. Yeah. I had the Starbucks. Yeah. Oh man, because it was in a hospital.
Yeah, it was in a hospital. Yeah.
Yeah. You can work on the Starbucks when they're not a standalone location. A standalone location is going to be handled by Bun and Icy. Yeah. And then all that's going to be changing pretty soon. But if it's a Starbucks in a non-traditional location, if it's at an airport, if it's at a university, if it's in an office building on the ground floor or part, that is going to be a kiosk. It's not going to be an actual Starbucks, and you can work on it. Now, like we talked about earlier, the facility management companies are the ones that are going to try to work on those damn things because they're also taking care of the whole building. Yeah. So when those guys are buzzing around, you kind of tell them the shoe fly don't bother me.
They will be around, and I mean, they are everywhere. Because the I know I did a video. It was on a Bun. I believe it's called the Bun Initial Install, and that was in the basement of a hospital. That I did that, and with that call, they had their facility maintenance guy run the water line. He ran the water line, and he left me like a 3/8, a 3/8 flare end to attach to and stuff like that. And then he came by to, check and see if it was the right fitting. And I was like, yeah, you were on point, with it. So yeah, they are always around because when they have the problems, that's who they call to work on them first. So usually in places like that, I always ask if the facility maintenance is around because more than likely they try to look at the machine first.
Screws are going to be missing and off. I'm like, hey, what the hell? Who's touching this thing?
Yeah, or they'll try to calibrate the machine for you.
Yeah.
And then it starts overflowing, and then the people are going crazy because the floor is all wet in the hospital.
Now with the Starbucks, you'll have Bun, and you'll also have Fetco, right? Is it Fetco, right?
Fetco, yeah. Fetco. Oh man, what's there? There's another one. There's
Bun
Curtis.
Yes,
another one that's out there.
Those are their options. If you guys look on my Instagram, you'll see me go live at from Starbucks from time to time. They have the like JP was saying, they have the Joe Tap. Excuse me. They have the Joe Tap now. They're going away from the. They're only going with True as far as refrigeration. They're going away from Delfield. So they're kicking Delfield out. They've already kicked out Turbo Chef. So now the speed oven is Mary Chef. They're using Mirko for Instant Hot.
Have you worked on a lot of those Mary Chef?
Yeah, I worked on Mary Chef. It's the same as the Turbo Chef. Everything is the same. Yeah,
I don't,
everything's the same.
I don't get a lot of those.
You're
Maybe
not.
I see it, but I see them out there. You know.
They all right. They've dumped
Hmm.
a large number of them on the market with Marriott. They made a deal with Marriott. This was years ago. So with some of these places, yeah, my so you can see right up here. There's the Instagram. That's how to find me on Instagram. So they infiltrated with like Marriott. Um, Over in the UK, they never Subway never went with Turbo Chef. They went with Mary Chef in the UK. So uh, they had a little inroads here and there,
Hmm.
and they they're very simple to work on. So usually building maintenance is the one that's been fixing them.
Oh,
Uh,
got you, got you.
Building maintenance. So if there's any type of building maintenance around, I guarantee you they're the ones that's fixing it. But those
Listen,
little things take a hell of a beating.
yeah,
They take a hell of a beating.
yeah.
Uh,
What are
I
they
mean,
use voltage wise on those? Are those going 240, 220, 240?
those are 220,
Yeah.
220. Um, uh, Chipotle is using them now too.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So I did a video where I was at a Chipotle. So they originally were using Turbo Chef. I but I'm doing some new ones,
A lot of
and they're
people aren't
using
happy with them
Mary
now. Yeah, a lot of people aren't happy with Turbo Chef
Chef.
uh, functions right now, man. Because I mean, a lot of the new equipment, the new installs that I do for Turbo Chef, a lot of those I end up getting a call soon after I installed it. You know, and I'm like, wow, I'm like, what's going on? So, and it's little things that happen from manufacturing that you can't avoid. So these things have been happening a lot. I'm talking the screens, uh,
Yes.
the touch screen uh, turbos.
Yeah.
A lot of them, the touch screens end up being defective, and then they don't work after
You-
2 3 months. You
They're
know,
not the only one.
really?
Amana got that bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Wow. Must be where they're getting them from or something. You know, the boards
Yep.
and the screens.
Yeah, you see this? So the like the Amana, I have more experience with the Amana menu masters and stuff. Yeah, especially this one.
Mm-hmm.
Especially this one right here. This board right here is $2,000.
Yep. Yeah.
It's 2 grand. Two
Yep.
grand for that.
Yep.
2 grand. And they know it. They just send it out. They don't even want the Owen back. I don't hold on. Let me address this real quick. LED handyman. I really have not. I work all day. It is a lot more convenient for me to post on Instagram. Um, it's when it comes to long form content, it's easier for me to post on YouTube, and TikTok is just not been. I'm just not really set up for TikTok. I have a TikTok account. I just have not used it. To be honest, I've had everything. I've had an OnlyFans account. My OnlyFans account is probably like 15 years old. This is probably 20. This is before OnlyFans was used for what is used now. I've got an account on every platform.
Mm.
Every platform. I gotta pay. People ask me if I got a Patreon. I got a Patreon. I got locals. I got Vimo, whatever the hell that other was called. Venmo, Vimo. I
Mhm.
got that. I'm on every platform. Hell, I think I'm still on MySpace. I'm on
Yeah.
every platform. So, but it's just the way that they allow you to upload and add things.
It's a little
It,
tricky. It's a little tricky for me. So
yeah.
I'm not really active on TikTok at all because I've tried to load a few videos,
Uh huh.
but for some reason it like doesn't let you upload it because they want you to split it or something like that. And I'm not
Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting all of that. So I just kind of left it alone.
Yeah. I don't know where the hell happened. I had OnlyFans. When OnlyFans first opened up, I had an OnlyFans. But this is before the girls came on and took over. Yeah, before that, I had OnlyFans. Like I said, as you see, my YouTube accounts are all they're all 12 years old and older. Mm-hmm. So, I have all that kind of stuff. But it's just not convenient. So I'll look into it. But give me some time. Give me some time on that. I know you want TikTok. I know you want TikTok.
Yeah.
Hey man, ain't nothing strange. It's nothing strange, But like I said, OnlyFans was originally started for for people to like talk to celebrities and stuff like that. And it was, there's another one. It's like Teachable and all that other stuff. So OnlyFans was like Mastro, whatever that thing is, Masterclass.
Oh, Masterclass?
Yeah. So before Masterclass, you had OnlyFans. So you would pay for a subscription for someone who was good at their craft. And of course you would pay to watch them, and the girls saw that and they took it over. So, right, CapCut. Yeah, I'm familiar with CapCut. They don't give me nothing free anymore on CapCut because I had CapCut so long. All right, JP, the wife just got home. Yeah, you have a good night too. I think I'm going to probably wrap this up too. It's 3 hours.
Yeah, we did 3 hours, man. That's a good talk though, brother. I mean, I appreciate it, man.
Oh, no problem. So make sure you check him out. I know everybody's trying to get me to go on TikTok, so I'll check it out. I have a 12-year-old daughter, so I know the TikTok. The kids, I know, and all the other guys, they're on TikTok as well.
Oh yeah,
the commercial podcast. I forgot the guy that worked for Safessa, the guy that worked for General Parts. Mm-hmm. He's on TikTok. Chris with HVACR videos, he's on TikTok. HVACR Survival, I think he's on TikTok too. So a lot of the guys are on there, and then from the guys in Florida, and I forgot what that one is. It's with Kalos, the guy that owns that whole Kalos thing, which his brother-in-law is Bert, that does all the little funny videos. They're on TikTok. And then the one to do that ain't got no gas in it. He's on TikTok. I watch him. His stuff is hilarious.
Yeah.
That guy is hilarious. All right. Yeah, you have a good night. Yeah, we wrapping it up, man. We're done.
Wrapping it up. This is good, man.
Yeah, the later it gets, the numbers tick up because we get the people on, California, Seattle, Oregon. Man, all those people start to.
Yeah, I hope they watch the playback. That came in later, watch the playback, and hopefully they got some good information that can help them. And that's real good, Mike. I appreciate it, man. I know it's tough. It's tough to set a time every week for me.
I know, right?
But when we do get together, I really appreciate it.
No, that's a good thing, man. It's a good thing. Yeah, I know it's prime time, but we're winding down because it is 10 p.m. my time and it's 11.
Yeah, I got an early day. I got an early day in the morning too, so I'm gonna head out and get some rest, and then get ready for tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got a crazy day. I got a crazy day tomorrow. Oh man. Yeah, because I didn't even give the quotes on that PM for those 3 coffee shops. I gotta order. Yeah, I gotta order parts for dishwashers. The one we were talking about at the coffee shop, I gotta get a new fill valve for that dishwasher, stuff like that. That's one of the. It's a CMA, but it's out of Italy, so I gotta get that valve. And yeah, it's got a solenoid in it, and because it had a restriction of water flowing in it, it heated up that plastic, and that plunger doesn't go in and out. Well,
yeah.
Oh right. Yeah, contractor. Yeah, because contractor's East Coast. Yeah, he's East Coast with you. He's about a good. I think he's about a good 5 hours south of you. So yeah, I'd like to appreciate. I'd like to thank you all for coming and hanging out with two techs, talking on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
I am Mike Reed,
and I'm Kevin Tate.
This is Kevin Tate.
To learn a trade.
Yes.
Thank you all, and stay well, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yes. So, Kevin and Mike, let us know when you want to see us again. I think Wednesdays are pretty good days for us because I make other appearances on other channels. So the next time you'll see me again, it'll be Thursday evening. So Thursday, look for me Thursday after work, anytime between 8 and 9.
Eastern.
Eastern. Yeah. So I'll see you then, and check out Kevin's channel, Learn to Trade.
Check it out, everybody. And, take care. Stay blessed, y'all. All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.